You're watching the Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship, brought to you by our 2023 partners. And Behera starts on the ground and might have just injured himself straight away. Rashesh there, he's fallen over, and not a good thing for him that he's done that. Again, he's going to be all right. Gets up gingerly. Again, I mentioned I'm Om Patel, joined by Shwetan Srinivasan. Shwetan, good to be back with you here today.
Same here, Aman. Bright and beautiful, sunshine, lots of cricket. Every direction you turn, it's cricket, cricket, cricket. An extremely important game for the Morrisville Raptors. Mathematically still in with a chance of making it to the playoffs. They beat the Orlando Galaxy a couple of days ago on this very surface, and they'll be looking for a repeat performance this morning. It's the last of the 4 back-to-back games. They would want to go home with a win, keeping their chances alive. And they'll be playing the next game at home. Behera comes in with the second delivery, very close to the off stump.
Raptors from past seasons. Again, welcoming you to the Buttonveers Cricket Complex here in beautiful.
It off all the way.
Good delivery here from Behera as we welcome you to the Buttonveers Cricket Complex. Sorry for a little bit of a technical issue, more so just user error on my end of the spectrum. Our production team working very hard and diligently over the course of these 4 days to make good on everything we've seen. A couple of additions for the Morrisville Raptors. Behera back into the side over Everoy Dyer. We'll see Sanjay Stanley opening the bat as Utkarsh Srivastava misses out today, and Ansh Rai will come into the team alongside Aditya Gupta. The two men in the middle at the moment getting their first runs is Dimitri Adams with that 4. Again, Adams the captain. It'll be 5 wides that time from Behera. And again, as you see that there, the Raptors, some new faces in there, but an old face joining me in the commentary box. Man, I've been with for quite some time. Shwetan Srinivasan, who knows everything about the Raptors and then some. Shwetan, welcome on this fine Monday morning.
Thank you so much, Aman. It's a beautiful facility. The lights bright and beautiful. It's good sunshine and cricket all around. Any direction you turn, it's cricket, cricket, and cricket. Wonderful facility.
Goes well through the covers. It's a shot that Dimitri Adams loves to play, just given that bit of width. Found the length early. It's not going to carry to the boundary. A little bit of morning dew and a thick outfield will lead it to just be a couple of runs, but a good confident stroke from the captain.
Yeah, Behera coming into the side, started off pretty well with the first couple of deliveries, angle across the left-hander, beat the left-hander once as well, but then it's not as consistent as he was with the first few deliveries in the next couple. Drifted for 4 wides in the previous delivery, now over pitching outside off stump. A good drive, like Aman said, the heavy outfield holding it back.
Again through the covers, this time will be 1 to wide long off. It's a good over for the Orlando Galaxy as they look to head for their first win of the season. 1 over gone, 8 for no loss.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need 1 hand on the roof, 1 hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go Rewards, when you fuel, you save, because rewards come first.
Welcome back to this 2023 Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship. The Morrisville Raptors started their bowling attack with Rashesh Behera. They'll come back in with Renard Leverage, who made his debut in minor league cricket yesterday and looked good there, Shwetan, on a decent length and seemed to move it a little bit off the surface.
Yeah, it was especially good in his opening spell yesterday. And then towards the end came back and created an opportunity, just not to be held. Unfortunately, he hasn't opened his account yet in the wickets column in minor league cricket. He'd be hoping to do that today. Had good pace, better pace than any of the Raptors bowlers this season so far. And the Raptors will definitely look up to him to get a couple of breaks in this power play.
Deep backward square and a long off in place for Leverage. He was bowling a hard length yesterday. How does he start to Dimitri Adams? Goes fuller and just down the leg side. He does get that natural angle back into the left-hander and looking to utilize that early.
Absolutely. Saw a bit of shape on that one. Just probably started a little middle and leg and then going down. he'd want to adjust a little bit. It's going to be a difficult angle to play, especially if a right-hander bowling over the wicket can bring it back into the left-hander. With some inconsistent bounce on the surface, if you're trying to play it towards the mid-wicket, if you close the face too early, it also gives you an opportunity for a leading edge.
Better line there from Leverage. Just slow it down. For Dimitri Adams, it's been a season that hasn't been has gone the way he would have wanted it to. String of low scores. Did have a couple of big ones, but it's been a disappointing season in terms of the win column and the runs scored. Remember that first season with the Empire State Titans was such a key figure, was always amongst the runs. Hasn't found real rhythm yet this season.
A big day for a couple of youngsters. Sanjay Stanley making his way back into the playing 11, as does Aditya Gupta. Hasn't played a game. That one let to go. It's kept low, angled across the left-hander. Yeah, so back to the topic on Sanjay and Adi. Big days, Aman, for them?
Yeah, will be. Adi Gupta just getting the one game earlier this year. Didn't really perform. Nearly took a wicket on a full toss, but again, would not have the type of bowling he would have wanted. And then for Sanjay Stanley, he had a couple big innings in 2022, but since in 2023 hasn't seen the field, and so he'll be looking to try to make a claim to the opening spot. We saw Utkarsh Srivastava impressive there. Full and straight Yorkshire does well. Dimitri Adams gets some bat on it. Really well done. It's good cricket all around from the two men in the middle.
A beautiful delivery there from Leverage. Shaping back in nicely, and also a Yorker length delivery. Adams had to get down really quick to keep that one from crashing into the stumps. A bit of a half-hearted appeal as well, trying to ask the umpire if it hit the shoes first before it hit the bat.
Yeah,
not going in his favor there.
Yeah, Dimitri Adams, someone again who comes with a high reputation, a lot of runs in 2021, and he's someone who's played a lot of domestic cricket back in the West Indies, and again will be looking to find a big score for himself, lead his side to their first win of the season. Right now he's facing some difficult bowling from Renner Leverage. He's creating all kinds of problems with the lengths and the angles in which he's bowling. This is good signs for the Morrisville Raptors. It seems like they've been missing that frontline pacer. Might have just found it here.
Absolutely. Leverage making use of the opportunity. From whatever little we've seen in the game yesterday and a few deliveries in this over, if he can be as consistent as he is, he can cement his place in the side. The Raptors clearly missing out on some sheer pace. They might have found somebody.
Full and straight again. Adams gets the run. Finally a run coming in the over outside the extra. It's good work here from Renner Leverage and the Morrisville Raptors. And it'll bring on to strike for the first time Kaushik Saha. Kaushik, the young man for the Orlando Galaxy, who again we saw come in the middle in the Galaxy's previous match on this very venue. Didn't really have a day that he would have wanted to remember, but Saha, again, one of the men that they're looking at as someone who can be a part of the side for a long time and help them build in years future.
Yeah, both these sides have been a little unsettled, more than a little unsettled in finding their combinations. Every match you see 3-4 changes. It's not been great for these sides, but still trying to play the best cricket that they can.
Left alone, good bowling here from Ryan Leverage. Just a fiery first over for him, and at the close of the second over, the Orlando Galaxy are 10 without loss.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Rashesh Behera continuing, and will have a slip in place. Dimitri Adams, he's seen most of the strikes so far and has seen enough. He wants to go after the bowling. But again, when you're operating on a length, some will skid, some will slide, and on a surface that's a little bit wet, there's some moisture in it, there's a little stickiness in the nature of the surface. It's going to be hard to put those deliveries away.
Yeah, trying to force it on that occasion. It was a beautiful delivery, hit the good length there, leaving the left-hander. Dimitri Adams just trying to force himself to get a boundary. They haven't got a boundary yet. Off the bat, want a good start in the power play. Haven't been put into bat.
Again, looking to go over covers. It was a little bit wider on this occasion, but still not getting the timing yet. Adams is going to want to be patient. Saha having a word with his captain, knowing how valuable his wicket is, but it's a good start for the young Behera.
Yeah, just like he started his first over, he started off his second over as well with some beautiful deliveries, consistent length across the left-hander. Would want to continue that way. He's created pressure bowling 2 dot deliveries and wouldn't want to give it away bowling something on his pads or short.
Good delivery. Again, operating on that length. You can see how this one doesn't quite get the same carry through to Hamilton behind the stumps. It's just the nature of this surface. I've seen another game played on it, the 11th consecutive innings on this very surface.
Yeah, also Adams should be very realistic on what target he wants on this surface. They've struggled all through the tournament with the bat. So he would want to just look at 120, 130, maybe instead of aiming 170, 80.
Cut, and cuts well. We'll get it through the infield. It's going to hold up in the thickness, out in the deep, but it'll be a couple of runs. A good way for Adams to ease some of that pressure that was brewing.
Yeah, once again, the heavy outfield coming into the equation. It was a beautiful shot, hit right from the center of the bat, through the gap, but the ball not making it to the boundary. Held up because of some heavy outfield, dew, and the thickness of the grass, all coming into play.
Yeah, again, a lot of factors here not going in favor of the batters. It's more in terms of what the bowlers can do. As long as they are on a consistent length, it's tough to score like that. Again, you can see going for that flourishing drive, but can only find the bottom of it. It's because that one has just slid on instead of coming on to the bat nicely.
Yeah, this outfield and the surface is asking who said T20 is more of a batter's game anymore. It still is there for the bowlers and the wicket takers. It's been such a difficult pitch. Average score has been around 140, 145, and teams have struggled to even chase those in many occasions. Even batting lineups as strong as Atlanta Fire have only managed to get to 140, 150. That tells you a story.
On the pads, big shout, gets him. It stayed low on Kaushik Saha. Not much he can do, but that's the danger of playing a cross-batted shot when the ball's angled towards stumps. Behera strikes straight away.
Yeah, brilliant bowling. That's the first time the ball was delivered to a right-hander by Behera. Pitches it up, angling in. Batsman goes across the line, misses it completely, stays a little low, was going to crash into Midland leg, and up goes the finger. The first wicket taken by Morrisville Raptors.
Yeah, Saha hasn't seen a lot of deliveries out there in the middle, and just was surprised by how low that one's kept. It's good bowling from Behera, though. He's attacking the stumps and being on a length. He's recognized what he has to do on this surface and does it straight away. It'll bring out another left-hander in Hito Leslie, who impressed in the Galaxy's first match at Church Street Park when they took on the Baltimore Royals, and what he was able to do. He actually came in at more of a 6 or 7 spot there, but after that innings opened the batting, and so he's someone that the Galaxy feel can really bat anywhere in this lineup. Shows off a brilliant cover stroke, and seeing 2 left-handers, the witty Dame Pete will bring himself on.
That's a smart move. He didn't bowl much yesterday because around 2 good right-handers were in operation with the bat yesterday for the Fire. He bowled 1 over and stopped himself, but now looking at two left-handers, immediately bringing himself on. He's not concerned if it's power play or not. He believes that he can do the job, bring all his experience and get wickets of probably two of the better batters from the Galaxy side. And if it works for him and the Raptors, it'll be a great chance for them to keep them low to a low score.
Yeah, this is the side you're going to see a lot of the spinners operate on, and I think after seeing that delivery keep low and the frustration brewing for Dimitri Adams, he senses this is all a good combination that can lead to the big wicket of his counterpart, the captain, on the other end of the ground. Starts off well, starts off really well. Again, you can just see that one ripping through to Dimitri Adams.
Yeah, fastish kind of a delivery. Still bowling within the power play, so he had to do that. Not looping it. Maybe he'll mix it up during the over sometime, but that one faster and angled in.
Cut. It's in the gap. Really well done. Really well done there by Dimitri Adams. Picked up the length early, giving a bit of width, and picks up 4 runs. His first boundary of the day.
A beautiful shot. Little bit of width offered on that occasion. Slightly short in length there, Dane Pete. Cuts it beautifully, backward of point for a wonderful boundary. The first one off the bat.
That's better. That's better from Dane Pete, but Adams is also finding ways to get singles as well. That's what's going to take on this surface. That's not offering a lot for the batters. Have to be able to plop it down and run those quick singles.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of running on this surface, especially given the thick outfield. Important partnership this for the Orlando Galaxy.
Looking for the heave, Hito Leslie, but could only find mid-on. Leslie, again, a very naturally aggressive player. I think that's why Dane Pete slowed the deliveries up through the air, putting flight underneath it.
Yeah, once again, stopped a little bit. And this one, outside off stump, not too much width. Trying to cut that one straight to Anshrai at point.
Yeah, again, Dane Pete, so experienced. We've seen him get back to the length that he's been so effective with. Quicker this time, and you can just see how much this one has bounced and carried through to Hanchard Hamilton. It's a good way to close out the over for the Morrisville Raptors. 4 gone, 18 for 1.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
Three on the trot for Rashesh Behera here for the Morrisville Raptors. Took the wicket of Kaushik Saha in the previous over. No slip now for the young man. And again, creating problems for Dimitri Adams. That one, bit of extra bounce on offer.
Yeah, Behera bowling 3 on the trot within power play. Tells that he's been bowling well. Dane Pete trusting him. Got the wicket in his previous over off the right-hander. Would want to get another one. Coming back in his side, Behera's looked good.
Short again. This time we'll carve it over the top of the offside. And we'll find another boundary for Dimitri Adams. This time, 6 more.
Too short on that occasion. Also with offered. Frees his arms. The skipper gets it high and over the boundary line towards the point region. Just as we were saying that Behera was bowling well, decides to bowl one shot, dig it in, not the pace to bowl that sort of a length, gets duly punished.
Yeah, just got carried away trying to hit that length, just caused a drag down. We saw something similar from Rohan Fudke yesterday, trying to hit a length and pulled it down. And again, when it's short and wide, Dimitri Adams is far too good to miss out. And Dane Pete and company will have a word with the young man. You can see Trayvon Griffith over there with him. Mohamed Abdullah Shah, who's been brought into the side today Also having word with Rashesh Behera as well. And the new ball will have to be found and be brought in from the third umpire. And looking forward to the new ball. A couple options being given by the Orlando Galaxy. But question is, how do you determine what's a 4.5-over-old ball?
Yeah, into the bushes. I know a couple of people who can go search in the bushes and get that ball, but they're all busy. One is myself. I've done so much searches, both as a kid and in the local league. Every third ball goes into the bushes and we are into it, and we get them so many times.
Yeah, but
Minor league now looking for new types of professionals, Aman.
yeah, it's always the trick. The balls in cricket, how do you continue to keep the balls new, keep the balls, for teams in the middle, but also the team running the tournament, running the matches. Never want to run out of balls and make sure you have a ball for every situation. Always hard to do, and so again, a lot of diligent work being done by the minor league team, Harsh Kandoy, the match manager, making sure there are balls on offer, especially with those bushy areas over into the covers of the left-hander.
Yeah, might be a good idea. I'm sure this facility is improving with everyday passing. Might be a great idea to have some sort of long, tall nets to stop the ball, especially from that region where we've lost a few.
Well, new ball in. Behera back in to Dimitri Adams. Fuller pushed to the offside. Will get the gap through wide, long off. Will just be one. Again, holding up. And that thickish outfield. Raptors obviously winning the toss, and they chose to bowl first because not just the sticky nature of this wicket, but what the outfield is like, thick, filled with dew in this beautiful Monday morning.
Yeah, it's the right choice, I would say, given all the variables.
Well bowled from Behera, much straighter, closer towards the stumps. Does well there to close, just to keep things going and close down the runs from the Orlando Galaxy.
Yeah, despite that bad delivery, Behera has bowled well. He's kept the batsman away from hitting those big boundaries.
In the air, through the offside, gets the gap again. There'll be runs for Hito Leslie. Just two of them. Again, does well, got onto the back foot quickly, and able to push it past cover inside the ring.
Yeah, not sure how much control he had on that one. Played it uppishly. Luckily, it was wide of Ansh Rai, patrolling that area. It could have gone straight to the fielder as well on another day.
And again, for the Orlando Galaxy, searching for their first win in 2023. Would love to see a partnership brew between the two lefties. It's a good comeback from Behera. You can see it tailing back in to Hanchard Hamilton to close out the fifth over. 5 overs gone, 27 for 1.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
$27 for 1 are the Orlando Galaxy as Dane Pete comes back into the attack. And see that one just keeping on that surface, using the stick was Pete on that occasion. Adams was on the back foot quickly, but no opportunity to cut there just with how the ball reacted to the surface. Fuller and Schrader, chance of a run out here. Throw went to the non-strikers and gets that run in the end.
Yeah, takes the arm off the fielder at backward of point. Just tapped it gently and took off, safely making it in the end. A strong arm and a direct hit have been.
This one down the leg side will be a couple of runs through fine leg. Behera gives chase, keeps it to 1. We'll see if there was any bat on it. No, given leg buys there from the umpire.
Yeah, last over of power play. The skipper with the ball in the hand wouldn't want to give any boundaries this over. Would want to keep it around 30-32 at the most.
Flied it up this time. Hits it straight to cover. Untry. Very quick there, the young man inside the ring. It's a good way to make an impression. We've talked about Dane Pete time and time again. Values the fielding. Wants to see the effort. Wants to see you execute. Untry so far, showing off the strong arm and the attacking nature in the covers. Sweep on offer. Big shout. Given. Dimitri Adams has to go. Again, this is the danger of playing those cross-batted shots and those sweeps on this surface. Just the ball tailing low, and Dimitri Adams has to go.
And time and again, we've spoken about those cross-bat shots. Not the right option on a surface like this. Angled in, a quicker one. Adams going across, missing it completely. The ball hits him right in front of the stumps, and the finger goes up. Second wicket gone. 2 leg befores.
Yeah, you saw the immediate appeal from Pete. It was just more of a, all right, put the finger up. That one's gone. But for Dimitri Adams, the captain of the Orlando Galaxy, it's another innings where he gets a start but couldn't convert. 20 from 26. Again, would have thought he could play long, but unable to do so in the match here. And he'll bring out the wicketkeeper batter, Advait Varadarajan, the new man in the middle for the Orlando Galaxy, and want to avoid the tumbling of wickets we've seen that has plagued the Orlando Galaxy. And Swithin, yet another left-hander.
It's a galaxy of left-handers for the Orlando team there. And Dane would still be very happy. As an off-spinner, he brought himself on to bowl with the left-hander. Another one comes in. 1 delivery left in power play. A perfect, almost perfect finish for Morrisville Raptors, getting the captain as well.
Final delivery has a short cover in place for the new Varadarajan, and beats everyone in the infield. We'll get it runs straight away. It's a good power play for the Morrisville Raptors. The Galaxy, they'll be happy with the runs on the board, however. 6 overs gone, 30 for 2. Pace to continue from the commentary box and the ground, but it'll be a new man bowling it, Rohan Fudke. One of these young men in the side today. He'll be back with the ball in hand. Had his first couple of overs yesterday, bowled 4 of them. And bowled well, picked up a couple of wickets. Nearly had the wicket of Obis Pinar, but will be operating to 2 left-handers now in a much different situation.
Yeah, it wasn't used with the ball in the first couple of games, but the injury to Abhiram Bolisetti opens up an opportunity for him. And yesterday, he grabbed that opportunity with both hands, picked up a couple of wickets, created more opportunities as well, half chances, bowled a beautiful length, and being rewarded again today.
That one tailing very, very low. How low has that kept? You can see him on his knees there. Just nowhere, nothing really to do for Varadarajan. Luckily for him, just away from off stump.
It was just lucky that he was able to come down on time. That one keeping very, very low.
Again, for the Morrisville Raptors, something to look at when they have to come in and bat, but still 15 overs to go for the Galaxy. What can they muster? In the air, dropped. Fielder there in that position. Should have been taken. It's Ryan Wiggins at backward point with a huge drop there.
Yeah, tall guy. Ryan Wiggins had to go low pretty quickly. Got his hands, but couldn't latch on. Will it be a costly miss? Hopefully not for the Raptors. The Galaxy, on the other hand,
this one tailing in. There's a shout for an LBW. It's definitely coming off the bat first, but Fudke, he's operated well so far. He's kept everything around off stump and has made life real uncomfortable for the two men in the middle.
yeah, starts off very well here, Fudke. Bowling a decent length, created a chance there as well. He would want to pick up a couple of wickets following his performance yesterday.
Pulled into the leg side, dragged it down, and finally some runs, just missing the length slightly. There was Fudke, and ends up being 4 for the Orlando Galaxy.
Goes short of length, swivels around and pulls it to deep backward square leg for a boundary. Started off well, but not this one.
Slower one, beats Hansford Hamilton up at the stumps for Rohan Fudke. Tried to keep the batters rooted. We won off a bye there. And again for Rohan Fudke, starting off really nicely there. You can see him slow it down, pull the length forward, but Hamilton unable to handle it behind the stumps. In the air, this one should be taken. Ryan Wiggins is underneath it, and he's made a mess of it again. He's made a second mess in the over. Rohan Fudke should have had the wicket, not once, but twice now.
What's Ryan Wiggins going to say to Rohan Fudke as they cross each other? A good delivery, length delivery, tries to play it towards mid-wicket, gets a leading edge, high in the air. Ryan had a lot of time to get under that one, but couldn't. It barely brushed his fingers. A huge drop.
And that'll close the 7th over, 38 for 2.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need one hand on the roof, one hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save because rewards come first.
Pete to bowl his 3rd over here for the Morrisville Raptors, and not doing themselves any favors of the Raptors. Rohan Fudke created 2 opportunities, both put down in the same area by the same man. Can't afford that when you're trying to claw your way to the playoffs. Every wicket matters now because it's going to come down to some net run rate, as it always seems to do. Good delivery. That one's jagged up on the left-hander.
Yeah, pitched and turned slightly slower in the air this time, but the field spread. Dane Pete in his 3rd over.
Again, beating Varadarajan there. Just good bowling here from Dane Pete. He's keeping it slower through the air, and I like this. He's just daring the batters to play shots and keeping everything angled in on that middle stump. Quicker this time, and still nothing for Varadarajan to do. Pressure starting to build now for the Orlando Galaxy.
Yeah, mixing it up nicely is Dane Pete.
They take a quick single here. They'll beat 3rd man inside the ring.
Yeah, hits it straight to the fielder and takes off. Makes it comfortably again. They'd want to rotate strike. They'd look to take singles of every ball Every good ball on offer.
Into the leg side, fielder there. Not taken, but it was a very difficult chance. Does well to save it there. Rohan Fudke, again, was low, was very difficult. A good way to close out the over for the Morrisville Raptors. At the end of 8, it's 41 for 2.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस, इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
A change in the bowling for the Morrisville Raptors. No Rohan Fudke back, but going with some spin in the form of young Anshrai, the under-19, who made his debut in minor league cricket just a couple of matches ago. Back into the side, and with the breeze blowing, the hair's moving quite a way. He's going to want to get the wickets moving in a similar direction. Starts off well.
Yeah, Anshrai bowled particularly well in his first game on his debut. Bowled 2 great overs and within the power play. This time being brought in after the power play is completed.
You see that one just staying low. He's given a little bit too much width for the liking, I think, of the Morrisville Raptors, but he's off to a good start. He's using the surface, which is what you're going to want from the young spinner.
Yeah, and I believe he's doing that to make sure that he's not heaved over towards the mid-wicket region.
Good deliveries here from Anshrai. He's starting off really well, troubling the batters, and again, it's just a testament to his skills. That one didn't come off the bat, off the pads of Hanjard Hamilton.
Yeah, three good deliveries to start his spell.
Quicker this time and beats Varadarajan, who's now on strike, and the 4 good deliveries. There wasn't a run counted against Anshrai yet, and it's a strong start so far in his second minor league match. This is good bowling here. Still no run on offer. Good work from the young man as well. This is the effort that Dane Pete and company will like from the young lefty.
Brilliant there. Hasn't conceded a run like you said. Doesn't want to. Runs quickly across the turf and stops any opportunity for a single there.
In the air, away from the fielders. Well placed there. Not get to the boundary. Good work from Rohan Fudke coming around from covers. It'll just be a couple. A good first over for Anshrai. 9 overs gone, 44 for 2.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
Dane Pete in his 4th over could have his first wicket. It's up in the air. Fielder coming underneath it. Takes the catch. Finally one taken. I think it's Muhammad Abdullah Shah. Yeah, it is. Brought into the side and makes a strong catch there and a strong name for himself. And Dane Pete, the captain, gets a wicket in his very, very final over.
As keeper Dane Pete there, choosing to complete his spell, bowls himself for the 4th over, floats one up in the air, the left-hander trying to hit a big one, gets a leading edge. Abdullah Shah had to cover a lot of ground, does beautifully, comes around and takes a beautiful catch. 3rd wicket lost for the Orlando Galaxy.
And Hito Leslie has to go. He was trying to get himself going, but 8 off 15. You could just sense there was a big shot that had to come after that quiet, untry over. Dane Pete reaps the rewards there, and one left-hander to another. You mentioned this with it. It's a galaxy of left-handers as Rohit Dutchan looks to make his way into the middle.
If I was any right-hander, I think will feel out of place in this batting lineup. Just too one-dimensional. But they would hope that a couple of these would resurrect this innings and try to get them to a decent score on board.
And Rohit Dutchan, someone again who comes with a high reputation. You don't put beast on your jersey unless you score some runs and make an impact on the game. And I'm surprised not to see him bowl yet here in this Button Viewers Cricket Complex. I feel the surface would suit him. He has a fifer in minor league cricket already, but it'll be more about what he does with the bat right now. 44 runs on the board, 3 wickets down here in the 10th over. And Dane Pete's not going to let the beast loose just yet.
Yeah, they'll want to see him off. Dane Pete not lose another wicket in the last few deliveries that he has left in his spell. And then see how they could attack some other or lesser bowlers in the Raptors bowling lineup.
This one hit very firmly, very nicely done there from Rohit Dutchan to pick up his first runs in the form of a boundary through wide, long off.
Oh, the beast there muscles that one, pitched up, little bit of width, frees his arms, hits it wide of long off for a well-deserved boundary.
This time into the leg side, cries of catch it, but no one is going to catch that one. That's into the bushes, and Rohit Dutchan is starting his account off strong, aggressive in nature, and getting off to this aggressive start.
Yeah, back-to-back boundaries there. This time, a huge one towards the mid-wicket region. A slog sweep, pitched up, gets nicely under that one. Deep into the bushes it goes. 6 runs added to the total. An aggressive start for the left-hander.
And maybe another ball lost into the bushes there. There's no one out that's going to be able to save that one. That was hit very deep. It was high, long, and handsome. And Dane Pete just going to pull that length back to Rohit Dutchan. Make him sweep from quite a well ways away from him. That was firmly in the slot. But this is what the Galaxy would have wanted. They've been looking for this all season long. A big innings from their big man in the middle.
And Rohan Phadke, on the other hand, should go and ask for an allowance for searching those balls.
This time Quicker did pull the length back, and they're going to take a quick single through to mid-wicket. Good running there, a good over for the Orlando Galaxy after that wicket. 10 overs gone, 55 for 3.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Untry to continue into his second over. Had a good one in the first. Just 2 runs conceded from him. There was one off of buys as well. Field spread out. Runs deep, backward square, deep mid-wicket. Long on, long off. Deep covers. A little bit of a different animal now, bowling to the beast. And the beast looking to take on the young man. Will just find one. Good work there from Untry. We've talked about his line, knowing that Dutchan likes to play through the leg side, keeping it well away from his arc.
Yeah, Untry there, another Raptor looking for his maiden wicket in minor league cricket. He's picked tons of wicket in youth league.
Quicker and stopped there from Untry. And what's been really impressive for his start is just his ability to bowl those variations. I think it's a testament to how good he is and how good the youth have been in the United States. Both him, Athena Subramanian, Rohan Phadke, Aditya Padala, just to name a few. They've all looked so good and been able to control their variations quite nicely and have not looked out of place in minor league.
Absolutely. Basics have been pretty strong. We saw Utkarsh yesterday. Technically pretty good with his bat. Now Ansh Roy.
Looking for the big heave. It's beat Hansford Hamilton again. Don't know if there was any bit of bat on this one. It'll be a single though. And we'll wait for the signal from the umpire. No, it looks like there was bat involved. Maybe a thin under edge. So maybe a chance has gone begging for the Morrisville Raptors yet again.
Yeah, staying too low. Hansford on that occasion raising up a little too quickly.
Down the track, hits it to long off. Dane Pete stationed there. Just keeps it to 1. Good bowling from Anshrai.
Excellent bowling that by Rai. The batter's there, especially the Beast, looking to get those boundaries and sixes. Unable to do so until now.
Again, you can just see staying low, given wide there from the umpire, but again, you can see the intent from the young man, keeping it well out of the arc.
And he's also rushing through his overs, which is a brilliant thing in T20 cricket, in any form of cricket for that matter.
That time, the leg spinner called wide again from the umpire. He's got to find his line again. It's just scared to fall into that arc. I think if you still pull the length back, you can keep it towards stumps and still find success on a surface that is keeping low. This time hit through the offside, no fielder out there, too wide, too easy, and the Beast is unleashed 6 more.
Yeah, Ansh Rai there, purposely not wanting to attack the stumps, given the ability of the left-hander to hit it through mid-wicket, keeps it wide, this time more with Offord. Huge 6 hit over the cover region.
Yeah, you saw Dane Pete signal it right away. I think it just got too predictable. Untry, a couple of wides, knew that the ball was going to be wide. Rohit Dutchin just waited for it. Again, on a length, it's still difficult to play. You almost would dare the batters to play across the line on stumps, and maybe something to think about for the young man. But for the Orlando Galaxy, what they would want from their big man in the middle, Rohit Dutchin's got himself off to a flyer. Maybe the best start we've seen on this surface. 19 from 8 with a 4 and 2 sixes to his name, and taking some pressure off of Advait Varadarajan at the other end, who has had a very different start. 9 from 14 is Varadarajan, so just some pressure being taken off.
Absolutely, he's putting away every ball that's in his arc, under his eyes. Anything full and wide, he takes on and he muscles them. Looks a totally different surface when he's batting. None of the demons have come into play.
Well, Renner Leverage is back in to maybe quiet things down. He had a good first over. Back for a second from the same end. Full straight, clipped off the pads. There's a deep backward square, but again, good for Varadarajan to get himself singles and get himself going here. Just has to facilitate, as we've seen Dutchin be the natural aggressor.
Yeah, mixing it up nicely. The options brings pace back on Dane Pete. Let's try something different to see if we can get that wicket.
Slower one, going to be called wide from the umpire, trying to keep it out of the arc. And again, I just think that the Morrisville Raptors, yes, you don't want to give Rohit Dutchin a ball. He can just swing through the leg side, but on a length, it's been tough to play. And maybe a change of angle for Leverage would do him some good, just because of the fact that he would be angling everything in towards stumps.
Yeah, floated that one, slightly slower than his stock delivery. Just getting a little wider on that occasion adds an extra run. This is a nice matchup there, Leverage against Rohit.
This one tailing down the leg side this time. come off the pads? No, it'll be another wide. Again, I think if you're rendered leverage, just pull the length back. Keep it angling towards the stumps, and even consider coming around the wicket. You're always attacking from there. Has to fix this line here. Can't afford to be giving Rohit Dutchin and the Galaxy any extras.
A good take there by Hamilton. Leverage once again trying to swing that one back into the left-hander from over the wicket. Missing the angle once again, but this time on the other side. Hamilton had to dive, and he does well. Would have been 4 wides otherwise.
Pushed into mid-wicket for 1. That's a better length, I think, there for leverage. I think if the bowlers operate there, it's not easy for Dutchin to just step onto the back foot and pull him away, because the deliveries will stay low, and with leverage, extra yard of pace, you can just create some extra problems.
Yeah, I think leverage is that sort of a bowler who's looking for wickets. You bowl that sort of good length. You get wickets when the batters are trying to attack you, but I think he's just trying to use his space, attack the stumps, and get the wickets himself, rather than waiting for the batter to make a mistake. It's not a bad option.
Down the leg side again. Hamilton gets a hand to it, keeps it away, but leverage struggling right now. Again, is just trying to angle it towards the body, but it's just going too far down, falling over in the run-up as well. 3 runs for the Galaxy.
That might be a good idea for Dane Pete to just have a quick word with the bowler. Just tell him to keep it simple. Don't have to try too hard.
The Galaxy slowly have come back really nicely past that 10th over. They just had 55 runs here in the 12th. Already 73 on the board. So it's been a good fight back after a couple of big shots from Dutchin, and then the extras have just hurt the Morrisville Raptors. Better, taken into the leg side. Didn't get all of it, but enough. Directs it well enough. It'll be 4 runs there. Rohit Dutchin, he's on a different planet today.
Yeah, the whole complexion of the game changes. Pitches it short this time. Rohit is too good a batter to miss on that one. Pulls it back with a square. Even an athletic Rohan Fatke couldn't come around to stop that one.
Yeah, but I actually don't mind this if you're rendered leverage. Even though you get pumped for 4, it's consistently hitting on a length here has been tricky. We've seen batters once or twice being able to do it, but if you can just push it up maybe an extra inch or 2, I think he'd find some success. I don't want you to, if you're leverage, I don't want you to change it up too much. Don't want to get too full now to Dutchin. He's changing the angle, which I like. Again, angling everything towards the stumps. For the Orlando Galaxy, they wouldn't want Dutchin to get too carried away. You have your boundary. You've had those wides. Just get out the over. Goes all the way full. Big shout. Big shout. Says no. Probably headed down the leg side.
Yeah, very, very disappointed there, leverage. Still looking at the umpire and asking why that was not out. He believes that he had his man. Going around the wicket, angling it to the left-hander. Rohit trying to hit him over the mid-wicket region. Misses it.
Yeah, you can't have this if you're Rohit Dutchin. You just can't get too carried away. Take a second look. I think a good call here from the umpire. Probably a bit high as well. A little extra bounce and headed down the leg side. But Dutchin can get carried away. You have the runs for the over. Stick in. Play through to the end. That's what the Galaxy would want from him. Yes, you can hit a couple of 6s, but you're more valuable the more deliveries you face. Good comeback from leverage. Full again, and nowhere to go, but well jammed out for Rohit Dutchin. Another really good over for the Orlando Galaxy brewing here.
Yeah, the change of angle is working in leverage's favor. You saw Dane Pete having a word with him once he was hit for that boundary, and then he went round the wicket to the left-hander, and that's kept Rohit quiet, at least for a couple of deliveries until now. Leverage would want to finish strong. The third man being brought in. The deep mid wicket pushed out. It's a good call with the angle in. And with 1 ball to go.
Again, looking to go into the leg side, and this time Renner Leverage has got his man. He's gotten carried away. We talked about it. Dutchin can't afford to do this, but for Renner Leverage, this is a very good sign for him, showing the ability to adapt. Wasn't working over the wicket. This time comes around, angles in, and crashes off the stumps.
Yeah, the moment he changed his angle, Rohit looked a little uncomfortable. He was not able to play with the freedom he was playing with earlier. 3 back-to-back deliveries from round the wicket. The last one pegs the leg stump down. An all-important wicket for the Raptors. Rohit was looking in a great touch. Was looking to take it all on his own. Is back to the pavilion.
All 3 of these wickets, make it all 4 of these wickets now, happening on shots that were across the line. Yes, you had the one slice up to long off, but other than that, it's been everyone trying to go across when the ball's been angled towards stumps, and that's what's led to the downfall on a wicket that, again, just has that low bit in nature, not easy to hit off a length. And Dutchin, who was getting themselves going, he just got carried away there, and that's led to the downfall for Dutchin. And for Renner Leverage, it's an opening wicket in minor league cricket. We'll bring out a new man into the middle, but a new man now with the ball in hand. Shrithan, you would have seen a lot of Aditya Gupta in Morrisville, and he's now back into minor league cricket with the ball.
Absolutely, Aditya Gupta, another child prodigy back in the days. Used to be a very, very sought-after youth cricketer. Had his own injuries, hasn't helped him, but he has the ball in his hand and he's making a comeback into the Raptors. He would want to make an impression. A lot of cricketers have grown up and have become competitors for a spot in the team. He would want to grab his opportunity.
Yeah, like you mentioned, suffered his fair bit of injuries. Think about the 2021 Under-19 camp. But he's very talented, and that's why the Raptors have kept him around and looking to give him a run here in today's game. And that camp was known for what he did with the bat, hitting Rohan Posanapalli, who was arguably the best bowler of that tournament, for 4 sixes in an over, taking him straight back down the ground, and then suffered a real injury that just set him back a year or two. But he's now back, and he's looking to make an impression.
Yeah, primarily in as a leg spinner this game, taking Kartikeya Jagdish's spot. JK struggled a little bit yesterday, making room for Adi Gupta. They're good friends, but when it comes to a spot in the team, there are no friends.
Hardik Desai faces his first delivery. That's good for Adi Gupta. We saw him struggle with length at Church Street Park when he played his first match in 2023. Would bowl a full toss, go short, back to the full stuff. So this is much better. Quicker. Was a little touch, was maybe a touch shorter, but again on this surface can afford to beat. And Adi Gupta, plenty of variation, has the googly, can get quicker through the air. This is good signs from the young man early.
Yeah, the surface is going to assist him. It's kept a little bit up and down. Just needs to concentrate and do the basics right. Bowl at the stumps, not give too much width. Don't get short, and he would be fine.
Pushed into the leg side really nicely here from Aditya Gupta, keeping the batters at bay.
Is bowling a nice pace there, not looking to get too quick. Hitting good lengths here, as against what he was doing in his previous game in Church Street.
Yeah, now has a right-hander on strike, and again would like operating it with the turn away he's getting on this surface. Good ball, good delivery. It just jumps on the Astro, but should have really been kept to no run there from Adi Gupta.
He's bowling nicely here. Not trying to do anything, not trying to bring in too many of his variations. Just keeping it simple, floating it, landing it in good lengths, and asking the batsman to take him on if he wanted to.
Good turn back. A good single taken for the Galaxy. It's been a quiet but good over for Orlando. They pick up 5 runs in it. 13 overs gone, 82 for 4.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need one hand on the roof, one hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save because rewards come first.
Untried to continue. Into the offside. There's a fielder out there, but won't be able to get there. Trayvon Griffith's quick, but no one was quick enough for that one. A 4. Much welcome boundary for the Galaxy and Advait Varadarajan.
Yeah, change of ends there for Ansharai. Comes from the far end for his second spell. Nicely flighted delivery, but gave the left-hander a lot of width.
Yeah, I actually like the move from Dane Pete to bring Unshry from the far end. We've seen spinners be most successful there. Nasser Hussein and company, Ashley Nurse. A lot in the surface that can be offered. Just this end seems to deteriorate much quicker. Bakes in the sun for a lot longer period of time. And we'll see how Unshry responds after being pumped for that 4. Cover much straighter. Pulls a length back. Again, this is good from the young man. This is what I think Dane P would be after from his bowlers. Yes, you get hit, but how do you respond after that? Down the ground, in the air. Fielders converging. I'm not sure anyone's going to get there. Yeah, it'll land in between all 3. Varadarajan survives there. Would have been really a tremendous effort from any of the 3 fielders coming in from covers, or Ansharai, or even Mohammad Abdullah Shah running in from long off.
Perfectly placed in the gap, in no man's land. A miscue there, a leading edge, an opportunity, but falls safely. Was in the air for too long, but not long enough for any of the 3 fielders to get under. Still waiting for his first wicket. He's come back strongly after that first boundary. Bowling to a right-hander for the first time. Probably pitching outside leg stump. A half-hearted appeal from the bowler.
Yeah, again, Ansharai has dealt mostly with the left-handers and will have to do so once again. And he's done well. His first over didn't concede a run, just one off the bye. Rather, they did get the 2 cut, but again, he's just been so sharp, the youngster, early. Pushed into the offside. It's good from Advait. Now he's taken the impetus upon himself to start to score. Now that we've seen Rohit Dutchin in and out, knowing that someone's going to have to do his job of accelerating, keeping the runs flowing, and Varadarajan has done it seemingly right after the wicket of Rohit Dutchin. Good delivery here on a good length, but again, smart batting from Hardik Desai, who has seen this wicket a couple of matches now. Will pick up a single at fine leg to close out the 14th over. 14 gone, 90 for 4. Adi Gupta to continue. Had a good first over, just went for 5. Start off with the right-hander, Desai on strike. And I'll find 1. This is good from the Galaxy, understanding that boundaries are hard to come by, but they're making sure they can score in consistent intervals.
Yeah, they have a decent score on board that can go either ways. If they're looking to close out pretty strong, they may lose some wickets. Again, a 130-140 score could be tricky on the surface.
Towel comes off for Adi Gupta as he pulls out of the run-up. And again, Advid Varadarajan, again, is a youngster for the Orlando Galaxy. Man who they see as the keeper of the future, and he's showing off with the bat. Again, finding that single consistently are these two men in the middle. This is just shows the signs of experience and veteran leadership.
Yeah, teasing sort of pace there. Floats that one again, asking the batsman to come down, take his chances. Good bowling here by Adi Gupta.
Again, flights it up. This time worked into mid-wicket. Hardik Desai hasn't come in to try to do anything fancy. Rather, is just looking to get 1, to get 2, and just keep the runs ticking and save some wickets for the end.
Might not have picked up a wicket yet, but is bowling consistent pace and length.
Short, missed out. It was quicker through the air, but Varadarajan would feel he should have sent that one into the next field.
Yeah, gets away with that one, trying to force a quicker delivery in.
Sweeps into the gap. He's going to pick up 4 runs there. Sweeps well, given just a touch bit of width. And Varadarajan takes it for 4 runs.
A beautiful shot. Once again, floating it. Slightly overpitched on that occasion. Also some width offered. A beautiful slog sweep shot. Picking the gap between long on and deep mid-wicket. Couple of bounces and off she goes for 4 runs.
And again, the key with that is there was just that little bit of width on offer. It wasn't attacking the stumps and just allowed that to happen for Advid Varadarajan. If he just starts a little straighter, that shot just can become really risky. We'll see how he adjusts here. Gupta. Yeah, is straighter. You can see Varadarajan looking to do something similar, but the length a little bit fuller as well. Good comeback delivery there from Gupta. And that'll close out an eventful 15th over, 98 for 4.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Untry back in. Pushed down the ground. Will find 1 Varadarajan. This is good. Really good from the 2 men in the middle. Again, they got that occasional boundary and making sure the singles are flowing everywhere else.
Anshrai coming on to finish his spell, his 4th over. Still searching for that wicket. It's probably a great opportunity now. The batters looking to force the issue. Can give you chances.
Desai does well. Again, no run on offer there, but Anshrai, he's been asking all the right questions, creating wicket-taking opportunities, and I like to see Dane Pete giving the youngster his full quota of overs. This one's worked into the leg side, but if you're just joining us, make sure to grab some Lakshmi rice on your way through, because this is going to be an exciting finish to this over and this innings. There's
Yeah, thanks to all the sponsors for minor league cricket. It's been a great fourth season of minor league cricket in the United States. The first one was an exhibition season and the third official one.
Yeah, fantastic what this tournament's done. A real domestic structure. And has made some stars, and Untry looking to be one of the next that are being made in minor league cricket. We've already seen a lot of spinners, including left-arm spinner. Think about Vatsal Vagela out on the West Coast, what he's done with the Golden State Grizzlies over 3 seasons. He's been so good. Untry looking to follow that kind of a model as the youngsters continue to develop and make a name for themselves.
Yeah, has produced a couple of youngsters into the United States system. We'll talk more about that when we come back at the end of over number 16, the Galaxy 102 for 4.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
"16 overs gone." Continuing with spin is the Morrisville Raptors, going with Aditya Gupta. And gets it straight. Does Hardik Desai. Dane Pete there to clean it up, keep it to 1. But it's been a good spell for the young man. Adi Gupta just hit for the 1 boundary. Everything else, he's kept himself well intact.
And a great spell for Ansh Rai as well, completing his quota for the first time in minor league cricket. 4 overs for 26 runs. We're searching for a wicket, and he will have to search again in his next attempt.
Down the track, bowled him. And Adi Gupta, you can see the big fist pump because this is a return to minor league cricket, saying, "I'm still here, I'm back, and I'm better than ever." Adi Gupta gets Advait Varadarajan.
Reward to consistent bowling there from Adi Gupta. Has bowled a consistent pace and length. The batsman there trying to come down, misses it completely. And the death rattle. The stumps light up, and the 5th wicket goes for the Orlando Galaxy with the score on 103.
It's good bowling from the 2 spinners, operating in tandem, creating pressure on the Orlando Galaxy. And again, the left-handers now have run out for the Galaxy. It'll lead to 2 right-handers now at the crease. Haven't seen that yet today, as we'll get the new man's name in just a minute. But the Orlando Galaxy will look to accelerate here. Varadarajan was looking to do just that, was unable to get to that next level. And again, still plenty of hitters. Still think about the likes of Matthew Comrie, what he can do with bat in hand, and if he can affect the game at a real high level. Hardik Desai will be waiting at the non-strikers end, just imparting some wisdom to the new bat. But Adi Gupta will be beaming high on confidence after that wicket. Takes out the left-hander, now operating to 2 righties. And starts really well. How about this from Gupta? Plenty of turn on offer. Asking a half question there was Hanchard Hamilton, but this is really good as Manav Patel enters the middle.
You're happy to be bowling to 2 right-handers now, Adi Gupta. He had to contend with right and left combination earlier. 2 right-handers at the crease. Still has an over and a half. Would want to pick up a wicket or 2.
Flights it up. Big shout, big shout. Should be given. No. Says no, does the umpire. Was it towards the leg stump? Should be close. And again, we'll get you a second look at that. Just take a second look.
Very close, that one, full and straight. The umpire probably thinking it was angling down. Adi Gupta, a fearsome appeal, but not getting the nod in his favor.
the height was fine. I think the biggest question was the line. It looks like he is standing on leg stump and could have, as you said, mentioned, maybe just slid down, but again, looked very, very close. Umpire obviously has the best angle of it. We had a slight angle, not straight on. As this one's cuts, we'll pick up runs here with Manav Patel just to ease some of the pressure of his own mind, as Gupta was really starting to find some real rhythm to close things out in the 17th over. A good one for the Morrisville Raptors. 17 gone, 104 for 5. One delivery left in the over. And pulled into the leg side, swept well, sweeps nicely, and he'll pick up 4 runs. A sour way to end the 17th over there for the Morrisville Raptors. Hardik Desai taking the impetus.
Pretty similar length, probably just a yard shorter. Goes down on his knees, sweeps it wide of deep mid-wicket for a boundary.
Yeah, it's still a dangerous shot that for Hardik Desai, going across the line, but executes it well.
And that's the end of the over. 107 for the loss of 5 wickets. 110 rather, the Galaxy.
And now the Morrisville Raptors. It'll be interesting to see where they've turned to. They've gone mostly spin. Still overs to go for both Render Leverage and Rashesh Behera. Could they close out Rashesh Behera here? He's just got the one left. 18th over coming, so 3 overs to go. Looks like they'll go in favor of pace, but not the 2 we mentioned. It'll be Rohan Fudke, who just bowled the 1 over earlier. Created 2 chances that were put down. And he'll be starting things off to Manav Patel, who's brand new to the middle. Struggled against Adi Gupta. And again, the Galaxy will be looking to accelerate. You'll talk about Manav Patel. You talk about Matthew Comrie. As some of the big hitting bats left in the dugout. Sumit Rawat can throw it around. Loves that mid-wicket to cow corner region. But you don't want to get much deeper than that into this batting lineup.
Yeah, the last 3 overs of the Orlando Galaxy batting innings. Rohan Fudke comes back from the far end. Pitches one in good length. Runs across. Fields pretty well, but unable to stop that single from being taken. Very athletic end-to-end there.
Yeah, smart for Manav Patel here. Understanding that Hardik Desai has seen a couple of overs now, and all Manav Patel had to do was just plop it down. There's always that single on offer on an outfield that just doesn't carry to the 30-yard circle. Soft hands as well, right down on the wicket, and the 2 are off in a flash. And the Galaxy would want Hardik Desai to see most of the strike for these remaining 17 deliveries. Pulled into the leg side will be 1 out to Trayvon Griffith, and Manav Patel wanted to, but don't want to test the arm of that man, the opening batter for the Morrisville Raptors.
Yeah, operating off that hard length, Rohan Fudke. That's brought him a lot of success in the past, and a sort of surface which assists that sort of length. So
pulled into the air, didn't get all of it. Griffith won't get there. Hit very, very high off the bat of Manav Patel, but he's done well to get a single in the end. But the Raptors, again, as long as they're not giving up boundaries, they'll feel pretty good if they can hold the Galaxy under 130.
Yeah, they'll feel comfortable if they have to go back and chase 125, 130 on the surface. They wouldn't want to chase more.
Slower ball pulled into the leg side. And it gets through Mohammad Abdullah Shah. Doesn't bounce at all. Again, it's just the inconsistencies, not only in the wicket, but in the field. He was ready high, and the ball just staying low on him. Brings up 4.
It probably took it a little easy. Abdullah Shah not getting down in time. Ball goes through, and a boundary taken in the process.
Yeah, took a brilliant catch earlier. This time, ends up giving up 4 runs there. A welcome boundary for the Orlando Galaxy. In the air, just away from Hamilton. Chance will run out, and Rohan Fudke will finish the job. Was off in a hurry there. Was Hardik Desai. Wanted that single. Manav Patel saying the ball's right next to the wicket. There's nowhere to go. And Rohan Fudke does the rest.
Absolutely no chance of a run there. the batter, trying to run blind. Not sure if he saw where the ball was. Rohan Phadke was athletic in his follow through every time after delivering the ball, but getting himself out. The ball not going even 10 yards away from the keeper. The bowler on his follow through, easy picking, runs in, takes the bails off. An unnecessary wicket, but one lost nevertheless for the Orlando Galaxy. 6 down.
Yeah, and again, they had run those quick singles in a similar area earlier, but it was a clear communication. This time, I think, because Manav Patel just wasn't sure where that came off, was just stuck in the crease, and there was no chance that he was going to get back. So he just never moved off. It'll bring out Sumit Sarawat. And bring this man in here, and he loves to access the leg side. He's someone who really 99% of the shot selection is the slog sweep over cow corner, and has got himself in plenty of trouble even when they're trying to just bat through 20, has gotten out playing that shot. And so if you just attack the stumps, it could be a quick day for Sarawat. Gets it into the leg side. Griffith there. We'll keep it to just 1, but again, Sumit Sarawat doing well. Hitting a single, making sure runs keep flowing. A little bit surprised they don't send Matthew Comrie, but a good over for Rohan Phadke comes to an end. 18 overs gone, 118 for 6.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Adi Gupta to finish himself off. Down the ground, gone. Sumit Sarawat, again, we've talked about it, wants to play in that same area. The cross-bat shot gets out, slowed it down, and easy pickings for Hanchard Hamilton. The second wicket for that man, Adi Gupta.
Adi Gupta flighting that one, goes all over the place, the batter. Easy stumping for Hamilton. Adi Gupta gets his second wicket, and he must be very, very delighted with the way things are going for him in this comeback game.
Yeah, one of my favorite ways to describe Sarawat's batting, Nate Hayes actually had it on call at Church Street Park, said it almost seems like he loves the slog sweep more than he loves to bat. And so he'll play that rather than sit in the middle. And it's happened once again for him, as another young leggy will make his way out into the middle. Matthew Comrie will join the men in the middle and try to put together a total here for the Galaxy.
Yeah, probably just gave in too early. Even before the ball was delivered, he was down the track and exposed his plan pretty quickly. All Adi had to do was take it away, and he did that pretty well to get his second wicket.
Matthew Comrie not in the side yesterday, back in. Again, can hit the long ball. We'll have to be in there for the last 2 overs and make sure that they just finish things off. Try to get to 125, try to get to 130. Beats it on the full. Will get himself off the mark straight away. Bring back on strike Manav Patel.
Yeah, he was flighting that one too much and got too full. And luckily, wasn't hit out of the park. Just gently tapped towards long off for a single.
Flighted again, good delivery, brilliant stuff here from Adi Gupta early in this final over for himself.
Yeah, suddenly extracting some bounce there from over the wicket. Hamilton was on his toes trying to grab that one, and bounce We haven't seen it here in this particular surface.
Again, it's that length in which he's bowling. Again, there's a two-faced nature of it. Some will skid through like we've seen, and then some, thinking about the LBW, they just slid on to the batter, no bounce on offer. So if you're operating on that length, not only as a leg spinner on any surface will you fancy yourself, but on this surface in particular, that will just stop. Some will jump through, and some will just slide on. There's plenty in it, and you're always amongst the wicket-taking conversation on that length.
Yeah, Nadi, with the confidence of having picked up a couple of wickets, also possibly putting in more revs that helps in getting that bounce. Whatever it is, he's doing well. Good for himself and his team. Can he get his third wicket?
Short, but stayed low. Again, lucked out once again with that delivery. We've seen it a couple of times today, him trying to go quicker and just dragging it down. But again, just that nature of the wicket staying very, very low.
About 8 deliveries left in his innings. Can the Galaxy get a couple of big ones? Adi Gupta flights that one slightly wider. Ryan Wiggins, beautiful stop, diving to his left. Would have been easy 2 runs had it crossed him. Saves 1 for his team. Last ball of his spell, Adi Gupta goes a little short. Big heave. Hits the tent on the full. A big 6 there. Not closing out as he would have wanted. But a good spell today for Adi Gupta nevertheless. A huge 6 that to finish his spell.
Look at this from the man in the middle, Manav Patel. Again, got away with a couple of short deliveries. This time, wasn't going to be so lucky. A little bit of width on offer and took advantage of it, did Adi Gupta, and finds himself with 6 runs. Manav Patel ending Adi Gupta's spell there. A good way to close for the Orlando Galaxy. Moves himself to 127. And something to watch for now when you talk about the Orlando Galaxy. If they can get themselves to 130, you just feel like they're very much in the game. Get to 135. If they can push to 140 now, you're just thinking they'll put a lot of pressure on the Raptors, carry some momentum into their second innings as well.
Yeah, we keep saying that 135, 140 can be a very tricky score on the surface as Rohan Fatke runs in to complete the...
Sliced away through the offside. Will be 4 runs there. This is what Matthew Comrie can do. Good bat swing for the young man. And he'll pick up 4 runs there. Good couple of deliveries here for the Galaxy.
Runs in and bowls that a little short and also some width offered. Slices that one backward of point. In she goes for a boundary. A great start to the final over for the Galaxy.
And it's also a no ball. He's overstepped there, Rohan Fatke. And he's given a free hit to Matthew Comrie. Take a look at this. Slower one, going to be 4. It's going to run towards the boundary. It's actually going to hold up in the grass. The slower ball works, but it beats everybody through and through. Some more runs here for the Orlando Galaxy. It's a great start to this over.
A nice delivery for a free hit. Almost yocked the batter. But the ball eludes the batter, the keeper, everybody, thanks to some heavy grass on the outfield.
Makes some room, gets it over the top of the offside, but fielder in place and taken. Comrie's little cameo in the middle comes to an end. Was the right idea, but Rohan Fatke beats him this time.
Yeah, with offered, frees his arms, hits that up in the air. Beautiful catch taken by the sweeper. Had to come in a few yards, but does the job neatly for his team.
Yeah, Rashish Behera got under it quickly, and once he got under it, you knew he wasn't going to drop this one. Comrie stay in the middle, comes to an end. It'll bring out Kishan Balagoban. And Balagoban, again, has been brilliant with the ball, but can you manufacture some runs with the bat? Still deliveries to come, 4 of them. Main goal would be to get off strike, get Manav Patel on to strike. This one will be over the top of the offside, could be 4. And it will be 4. Just gets over the rope. Little bit of width on offer. And Kishan Balagobin, seeing that, gets 4 runs.
Yeah, it's been that kind of an over. Goes either ways. First ball, hit for a boundary. No ball, a wicket. This time with offered again. Frees his arms. Slicing that one. Gave it everything. The ball just gently trickles down to the fence. But 4 runs added for Galaxy.
And this one will head down the leg side. It will be 1 to bring Manav Patel onto strike. But Balagobin's done the job. And this is where you're going to want to operate again if you're Rohan Phadke. It's a better length. It's hard to hit off this length when it's full. And any bit of width on offer, the batters have found success. But when you've pulled the length back, it's been hard to play when everything's been angling into the stumps.
A couple of deliveries still left in this final over. If they can get a couple of boundaries here, they'd have finished well.
Slower ball put into the leg side. Calls for 2. They're going to have to push. Trayvon Griffith's got a good arm. Is he run out? No, he makes his ground. Very good. Very, very good there from Manav Patel. No, he's giving it late. He's giving it late. Very late signal there from the umpire. And Manav Patel's got to go. He turned all the way around to get back. And then the finger's gone up. Incredibly late that was from the square leg umpire. But decision given nonetheless. And again, Trayvon Griffith, his throws always come in fiery hot. Manav Patel falls victim to it.
A wonderful throw there from Trayvon Griffith. Quick legs, but not quick enough to get back safely. For naked eye, it looked out. I was surprised. We were surprised here at the comp box, wondering how that was not out. But the umpire just was waiting for the action to be completed. Took his time and then put his finger up.
Brings a new man out into the middle. And hits it down the ground. Could find a couple of runs. Muhammad Abdullah does well to save a boundary. Brings up 2. This is a good finish for the Orlando Galaxy as they move into the 140s now to close out the 20th over. 20 overs have passed, and the Galaxy have managed a total that you'll feel very good about if you're a Galaxy fan. 143 on the board for the loss of 8 wickets in their 20 overs. Dimitri Adams started off well, 20 from 26. Adit Varadarajan, 27 from 29. The innings that kind of changed the game was Rohit Dutchin's 24 from 13. 20 from 16 was Hardik Desai. 10 from 8 was Manav Patel. And a couple strikes from Matthew Comrie and Kishan Balagobin got things going. Wickets for Rashesh Behera, rendered leverage. Rohan Phadke, 2 for Adi Gupta and Dane Pete. And now the Morrisville Raptors will have to do something that's going to be very, very challenging. Chase down 144 in their 20 overs. Don't go anywhere. Join us right back here at the Bud & Veers Cricket Complex for the second innings. And Behera starts on the ground and might have just injured himself straight away. Rashesh Gupta, the 2 men in the middle at the moment, getting their first runs is Dimitri Adams with that 4. Again, Adams the captain. It'll be 5 wides that time from Behera. On the pads, big shout, gets him. It stayed low on Kaushik Saha. Not much he can do, but that's the danger of playing a cross-batted shot when the ball's angled towards stumps. Cut. It's in the gap. Really well done there by Dimitri Adams. Picked up the length early, given a bit of width, and picks up 4 runs. Short again. This time we'll carve it over the top of the offside, and we'll find another boundary for Dimitri Adams. This time 6 more. Nature, the covers. Sweep on offer. Big shout. Given. Dimitri Adams has to go. Again, this is the danger of playing those cross-batted shots and those sweeps on this surface. Just pulled into the leg side, dragged it down, and finally some runs. Just missing the length slightly. There was Phadke, and ends up being 4. In the air. This one should be taken. Ryan Wiggins is underneath it, and he's made a mess of it again. He's made a second mess in the over. Rohan Phadke should have had the wicket. Not one.
Every good ball on offer.
Into the leg side, fielder there. Not taken, but it was a very difficult chance. Does well to save it there, Rohan Fudke. Dane Pete. And his fourth over, could have his first wicket. It's up in the air, fielder coming underneath it. Takes the catch, finally one taken. I think it's Muhammad Abdullah Shah, yeah it is. This one hit very firmly, very nicely done there from Rohit Dutchin to pick up his first runs in the form of a boundary through wide, long off. This time into the leg side, cries of catch it, but no one is going to catch that one. That's into the bushes, and Rohit Dutchin is starting his account off strong, aggressive in nature, and getting off. This time hit through the offside, no fielder out there, too wide, too easy, and the beast is unleashed. 6 more. Better taken into the leg side. Didn't get all of it, but enough. Directs it well enough. It'll be 4 runs there. Again, looking to go into the leg side, and this time Renner Leverage has got his man. He's gotten carried away. We talked about it. Dutchin can't afford to do this, but for Renner Leverage, this is a very good sign for him, showing the ability to adapt. Wasn't working over the wicket. Untry to continue. Into the offside. There's a fielder out there, but won't be able to get there. Trayvon Griffith's quick, but no one was quick enough for that one.
No.
Sweeps into the gap. Just going to pick up 4 runs there. Sweeps well, given just a touch bit of width. And Varadarajan takes it and takes it for 4 runs.
Again in his next attempt.
Down the track, bowled him. And Adi Gupta, you can see the big fist pump because this is a return to minor league cricket, saying I'm still here, I'm back. In the over. And pulled into the leg side, swept well, sweeps nicely, and he'll pick up 4 runs. A sour way to end the 17th over there for the Morrisville Raptors. Hardik Desai.
More.
Slower ball pulled into the leg side, and it gets through Muhammad Abdullah Shah. Doesn't bounce at all. Again, it's just in the air, just away from Hamilton. Chance of a run out, and Rohan Fudke will finish the job. Was off in a hurry there. Was Hardik Desai. Wanted that single. Finished himself off. Down the ground, gone. Sumit Sarawat, again, we've talked about it, wants to play in that same area. The cross-bat shot gets out.
Last ball of his spell, Adi Gupta goes a little short. Big heave. Hits the tent on the full. A big 6 there. He runs in to complete the...
Sliced away through the offside. Will be 4 runs there. This is what Matthew Comrie can do. Good bat swing for the young man. Makes some room, gets it over the top of the offside, but fielder in place and taken. Comrie's little cameo in the middle comes to an end. Get off strike, get Manav Patel on to strike. This one will be over the top of the offside, could be 4. And it will be 4, just gets over the rope.
Couple of boundaries here, they'd have finished well.
Slower ball put into the leg side, calls for 2. They're going to have to push. Trayvon Griffith's got a good arm. Is he run out? No, he makes his ground. Very good, very, very good there from Manav Patel. No, he's giving it late. He's giving it late. Very late signal there from the umpire. And Manav Patel's got to go. He turned all the way around. Welcome back to the Butterbeers Cricket Complex. Umpires have made their way onto the field here for this matchup between the Orlando Galaxy and the Morrisville Raptors. The Morrisville Raptors will need 143 and their 20 overs to win this matchup. We'll have a new opening pair in the middle, so some pressure on them. But you mentioned what will happen with the Orlando Galaxy. They're fighting for their first win. A lot to play for them in terms of just morale. Again, they're not going to be in playoff contention. They're out of that completely. But you're talking right now about, can you get a win? Don't want to be a defeated side when you finish. Don't want to do what we saw from the Detroit Lions in the NFL in 2008, or think about the Cleveland Browns when they went 0-16. They want to make sure they get a win in place, build some momentum for next season. The Morrisville Raptors, they are still in playoff contention. They need a win here to keep themselves alive. They'll be eyeing the result of the Fort Lauderdale Lions and the Baltimore Royals. That'll be close as well. The Fort Lauderdale Lions and the Atlanta Fire over there. They'll also be eyeing the Lightning taking on the Royals. They will need the Fire and the Lightning both to win today to really give themselves a chance into the playoffs. The Raptors, they're going to go with the opening pair of Trayvon Griffith and Sanjay Stanley. Griffith, we know of his exploits, a 50 in 2 innings, a 40. He's someone who's just good consistently in minor league cricket. For Sanjay Stanley, his experiment just hasn't worked. He's coming one down, number 4, and he scored a couple good 20s, a couple important 20s, but he just hasn't been able to make that consistent impact that the Raptors have been looking for. And to me, I think you saw the performance from Utkarsh Srivastava yesterday. I think this is a chance to give Sanjay Stanley an opportunity, the former USA Under-19 vice captain, a chance to cement his place in this side. So Sanjay Stanley will be dealing with that pressure. Talk about the Orlando Galaxy. Sumit Sarawat, he's the man with ball in hand, a fifer in this 2023 Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship already at Church Street Park. Operates well on a length, and he's tough to put away. So something just to look out for the Orlando Galaxy and the Morrisville Raptors. And we'll have the first delivery coming up here against Sarawat. We'll just need to get off to a good start. Want to defend 143. This is a chance. This is a real opportunity for the Orlando Galaxy to make a name for themselves in this tournament. And again, the Raptors, a win here would just keep them alive. Again, I think they're going to need some help to get into the playoffs. They would need the Fire and Lightning to take out the Royals and the Fort Lauderdale Lions, but you want to give yourself an opportunity any way you can. Sumit Sarawat on your screen. We'll start to Trayvon Griffith. I'm Aman Patel here giving you coverage of this Labor Day matchup. Starts off well, does Sarawat, and the first runs will come on the board for the Morrisville Raptors. And the first runs for Trayvon Griffith. Again, we've seen Griffith adapt on this wicket. His first innings on the surface, not a fluent one in the slightest. Looking to heave everything, looking to come down the track and play across. He's since looked to just take his time early, push it into gaps, and then really take off from there. The man in the middle now is Sanjay Stanley at the striker's end. Again, a lot of pressure would be on this young man who has an immense amount of talent just through an array of injuries and poor showings with the bat. Just haven't been able to cement his place in this side. Highly talented is Sanjay Stanley. Again, we mentioned the USA Under-19 vice captain. Be looking to, again, get some runs in this tournament. Just a deep cover and a deep third for Stanley. A slip and a gully in place. Sarawat to continue. And we'll pick up a run to backward point. Wasn't without any complications there, but it's runs nonetheless. It was a little half-hearted there from Sanjay Stanley in the middle. Didn't know if he wanted to get it, but he'll be relieved with that to pick up a run. Just eases some of that tension that could weigh on a mind of someone who is trying to cement their place in a team. Sumit Sarawat there tying his shoe. Someone who, again, comes with a lot of experience. Someone who comes in to this Galaxy setup as a real individual to watch for. A lot of experience on this side. Been really good. One of the few bright spots on a team that, again, hasn't won a game yet in minor league cricket in 2023. But they've had their Lakshmi Rice in the innings break, ready to get things going in the second innings. Griffith looking to go through the leg side, not given wide there from the umpire. Was he saying that he has looked to play a 360 stroke, and from there it would have to be at the wide line to be considered wide? Griffith still staring at the umpire. Again, it's an interesting call because of the way Griffith looks to set up for that shot, but nonetheless, again looking to play that shot. Big shout, big shout. Says no does the umpire. Sarawat can't believe it. Umpire can't believe it. Dimitri Adams can't believe it. Trayvon Griffith not looking at all. He's saying, I didn't touch it. It's missed me completely. We'll want to take a second look at this. Let's just have a look at this. Again, I'm not sure if he's edged it. I'm not sure there. You couldn't really tell on the replay. It did tail off, but he gets some movement. Again, very, very tight. Very, very tight. And again, you can see the disappointment for the Galaxy and Sumit Sarawat. Still some frustration. Sarawat hasn't moved. The umpire having a word with his counterpart, square leg, but didn't lift a finger, much to the dismay and agony of the Orlando Galaxy. Trayvon Griffith there on your screen, still in the middle. Has tried that shot a couple times, want to maybe get away from there. And he was very adamant that he had nothing to do with it. But Sarawat starting well here, maybe tailing down the leg side a bit, but attacking the body. Slower ball pushed down the ground. Will find a single. After all that, Trayvon Griffith. Again, very, very nearly that initial wicket. It'll bring Sanjay Stanley back to strike. 3 runs on the board, and again, for the Morrisville Raptors, not a huge target, but we'll need to find runs pretty consistently in regular intervals. Again, still that deep cover and a deep third. Slip and a gully for Sanjay Stanley. Sarawat has been getting some late movement. And inside half of the bat, it'll run towards fine leg. An edgy way to pick up some runs, but runs nonetheless. It'll be 2 of them, as Dutchin does clean up work there to close things out in this first over. 5 runs coming from it. 1 over gone, 5 without loss.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need 1 hand on the roof, 1 hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save because rewards come first.
Now into the second over, the Morrisville Raptors. So here we go, Kishan Balagopan will have to wait in favor of David Sri Patel. And he starts off with a low full toss that has helped along for a couple of runs. Gonna pick up 2 of them. Will the Raptors and Trayvon Griffith. Again, very important, this opening partnership. David Sri Patel operating with a slip. Inner half of the bat, gonna run towards the boundary. Again, will hold up, and just 1 on offer for Trayvon Griffith there, and Sanjay Stanley now will have to deal with the left-hander. Been asking the right questions, the Orlando Galaxy. You've sensed a sense of urgency so far. Getting a real sense of urgency. They've been better with the lines and the lengths so far today. And with the bat, they also were able to manufacture some runs. And again, something they've been missing all season long. Better late than never. Maybe out of playoff contention, but never want to lose. Always want to put your best foot forward. This one's pushed into the offside. Will beat the fielder. Dimitri Adams got a hand to it. It'll be enough for a single. And he'll bring back Trayvon Griffith on to strike. A good start for the Morrisville Raptors, getting those ones and those twos. Again, Griffith, highly experienced, member of the Empire State Titans in 2021, was an opening batter there. Played in that championship weekend. And is looking to take the Raptors to that same championship weekend. This won't be good for the Orlando Galaxy. Will be one, and Sanjay Stanley wants a second. It'll be tight. He'll get there in the end. Good running from Sanjay Stanley. The misfields for the Orlando Galaxy have plagued them all season long. Really did not have the strongest start in the field at Church Street Park, dropping a lot of catches, a lot of misfields. Didn't seem like they were accustomed to playing on turf. And that's the beauty of minor league cricket. It just introduces a higher level of cricket to the domestic talent. This one's flicked into the leg side. Will be one at least. And they'll come back for the second. Matthew Comrie in there does well to keep it to just a couple of runs. And again, the Raptors haven't gotten off to a flyer, but this is a good start for them. Not losing wickets, keeping runs flowing. 13 of them so far as we head into the final delivery of the second over. For Devashree Patel, he started off well. Again, I like the lengths he's been looking at. He's been just a touch fuller on these previous couple of deliveries, but operating on a length, he's been good. Goes back to the length, really good. That's the area. Again, you could just see it rush through Trayvon Griffith. It'll close out a second over that the Raptors will be happy with. 13 without loss.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट में क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Sarawat back into the attack. Will continue for his second over. Was good in his first. Thought he had the wicket of Trayvon Griffith. Unable to get him there. Umpire said no. Now will be operating to the right-handed Sanjay Stanley. And left alone by Stanley there. Again, is getting a bit of late movement. Not wanting to give up his wicket. Sanjay will not want to play too defensively here. Make sure he keeps the strike moving and the runs flowing. And that's what we saw the Galaxy do early, and that's why they had a lot of success in the power play. They just made sure they kept getting runs. Don't want to lose a wicket. Looking to come down the track and advance wide given from the umpire there. You can see the ball just never really move. It just stayed very low on Stanley, who looked to come down the track and take Sarawat on from there. Good, Sumit Sarawat so consistently operates on a length. It's hard to put away. That's why he takes wickets consistently. And why he's been, again, one of the few bright spots on a side that hasn't gotten a win. Change for the wicketkeeper here, Advait Varadarajan. He's up at the stumps. like this here too. Not express pace is Sarawat, and this will just keep Sanjay Stanley rooted in his crease. This one gets through, however. First slip is there to clean it up in Rohit Dutchan. Again, one stayed low and then a little extra bounce. It just shows you the nature of the surface. And when you're operating on a length, it's hard to deal with. And again, with Varadarajan coming up to the stumps, it forces Stanley to deal with the ball on the surface. If he's staying back, Stanley can look to come down, attack. This way he had to deal with the late movement and the interesting bounce. We'll run it through third man. No run on offer. Chance of a run out. Better throw. Would have had Sanjay Stanley walking back to the pavilion. Has to be careful. You can just sense the tension brewing within the young man. Again, a lot of talent. Very highly regarded. Back in North Carolina through the Triangle Cricket League. And again, was a very bright prospect for the USA. Vice captain of the under-19 team a couple cycles ago. Hasn't found it in minor league cricket yet, and again, you're sensing that this is a real opportunity for him to cement himself into the side as they look for a new opening partner for Trayvon Griffith. They've moved away from Vinod Kumar Kandaswamy in favor of the young men, Shrivastava and now Stanley. Pushed into the leg side, was inner half of the bat, but will finally get off strike and bring Trayvon Griffith on. And a good over this has been for Sumit Sarawat. Just a wide now. This single has made things real difficult for the young man, Sarawat. Again, it's all the experience he has. Not one of those big names that you'll mention, but a name that has now really popped up and has really been someone to watch for and consider when you talk about minor league cricket and the success in the Southern Division. He's someone the Galaxy will want to build with, build upon, and use to get their roster back. I feel that they can do that in the next couple of years and be a championship-worthy side. Sarawat, though, was not worried about a couple years from now. He's worried about this next delivery to Trayvon Griffith. Griffith will find the inner half of the bat. It'll run into the leg side. And good effort there from Kishan Balagobin. But they'll pick up a single nonetheless. This has been what they've been able to do, the Morrisville Raptors. Get ones and attack the bowlers.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
Boundary could change that. Look to go down the ground and will get down the ground. A bit of width on offer and gets it all the way for 6 runs there. It's a huge way for Sanjay Stanley to close out this third over and release some of the pressure that was just building upon the Raptors and the opening pair. Yeah, again, just a touch fuller, a bit of width on offer, and Sanjay Stanley up to the task. Finds 6 runs to close out the third over. It's 22 without loss. This one taken into the offside there for Trayvon Griffith. He's going to find another boundary. Boundary starting to flow for the Morrisville Raptors and company. First off the bat of Sanjay Stanley, now off the bat of Trayvon Griffith. Yeah, just a bit of width on offer on that occasion, and it will take it over the top of the offside. David Shri Patel just getting a little bit too full. A bit too wide, far too easy. Left alone. You can see that one doesn't even carry, doesn't even rise to the knees of Griffith. And this is what the wicket's going to do, especially at this end of the ground that has seemed to deteriorate much quicker than the other side. Something to watch for as the Raptors continue to go through their innings. Again, not chasing a low total. Remember, the Atlanta Fire struggled even to chase 99 a couple of days ago against the Fort Lauderdale Lions. Now 143 is what the Raptors will require. Not a huge score in most contexts, but on this wicket will be tricky. And again, beats the bat, doesn't carry. We've seen this stick in the surface. Heard it been described as a ball will skid on and then one will slide through. That one, just one of the ones that'll slide, staying a touch lower under the bat face of Trayvon Griffith. Again, Griffith's adjusted well to the surface after the initial match where he was just looking to play big. Didn't really care how the surface was playing, but has really adapted in the next two matches. And again, for such a prominent figure in minor league cricket, through his 4 innings, he's got 2 50s, a 40. Just the one time he didn't fire, still hit a couple of boundaries. So someone that can just affect the game at an incredibly high level. It's going to be wide there from Devashri Patel. Doesn't quite like the call there, but again, he struggled slightly with the line. Patel would want to be angling towards the stumps. We saw a lot of success for the Morrisville Raptors when the deliveries were angled in. Think about when Renard Leverage changed the angle, went right on around to the left-hander Rohit Dutchin and just pumped him for a couple of boundaries when he was going over. This time, going around, angling towards stumps. Dutchin trying to access the leg side, opened him up, and had to go. This one's jumped up. Again, some will skate, some will slide. That one has risen and has become chin music really out of nowhere for Trayvon Griffith. Brought some energy back for the Orlando Galaxy. Just a couple of degrees left to go, and Patel's responded well after being hit for that initial boundary over the offside. I'm on Patel. I'm joined by Shwethan Srinivasan, who's back in here in the comm box, joining me for this second innings. And welcoming Devashri Patel is Trayvon Griffith. This time over the offside, bigger and better. That's 6 runs for Trayvon Griffith.
Great start here for the Raptors. A flurry of boundaries. Both Sanjay and Trayvon Griffith are making use of this power play. Pitched and again with offered. Trevon's been consistent with his abilities in putting those away. Does that in style.
Yeah, again, Patel was operating so well on a length. We saw just a couple of deliveries slide. One just jumped up to the chin of Trayvon Griffith. This time he just missed the length. The radar was off, giving him some width as well. And Griffith far too good. With no fielder out on the offside, it was always going to find the boundary. And this one will just be a dot ball to close things off in this 4th over. At the end of 4, it's 33 without loss.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Hardik Desai now into the attack for the Orlando Galaxy. The veteran would want to find a way to get through Sanjay Stanley and Trayvon Griffith. Stanley, despite the 1-6, has not looked very comfortable so far in the middle. When he was facing Sumis Rawat, does the story change now that Desai is in? Yeah, you can just see the bounce. There's really no way to get comfortable on a wicket like this, Shwetan.
A wide declared there by the umpire. Not too sure if it was because of the width or the bounce. Not too sure if it went over the head either, but some nerves probably settling down for Sanjay Stanley. It's been that kind of a wicket, as we keep saying. It's not the one as a batter you want to make a comeback.
Again, that one staying low. You can just see the two-faced nature right there in those two deliveries. One jagging straight up, this time staying completely low. Skid, slide, you just never know, and you got to be very watchful.
Yeah, Trevin going there and offering some advice, probably asking Sanjay to just cover the line of the stumps and keep them down if they were attacking the stumps. And if anything was pitched up, he would probably be asking him to go straight back over the bowler, play straight over mid-on, mid-off, both the fielders inside the circle. He already has shown that he has the ability to hit straight back, hit a big six in the last over he was facing.
Slower ball, strays down the leg side. Will be another wide and will be away for Sanjay Stanley to get an off strike. Runs flowing for the Morrisville Raptors here. Really good start for them. Haven't lost that wicket, which is crucial in a power play at the Button Veers Cricket Complex.
Get some time on the non-striker's end to gather some thoughts. Also, as a batter, you need some luck on this wicket to score some runs. Trayvon Griffith has been prolific this season for the Raptors, up at the top, scoring runs at will. Hasn't found somebody who can contribute equally well to keep the team winning, but he's done very good for himself and the Raptors.
Pushed into the offside will be points inside the ring. Chase given by the fielders. Good work with the foot, but not good enough. It'll be 4 runs there for Trayvon Griffith. Maybe just a real soft 4 runs for him, but Raptors, they'll take the runs nonetheless.
Beautifully placed, that one. Yes, width was offered. Ball stayed a little low, but Trayvon Griffith absolutely brilliant there in leaning into that shot, placing it backward of point. 3 fielders trying to converge and stop that one from passing the fence, but unable to do that.
Has to get back to the right line. This eye is just varied far too much. The experience, the veteran will have to be better and lead from the front for a side. That's better. That's better. Again, on a length, but you could just see the difference there was the width. Much closer to the stumps and created problems here in the 5th over with that type of delivery.
Yeah, cut him into half. Trayvon Griffith trying to play the horizontal bat shot, missing that one. Lucky that it didn't take the inside edge. He could have easily chopped that one on. No width there like the previous one.
Fuller edged. Taken. Hardik Desai. He's got his man. The big celebration as well for the Orlando Galaxy. Good take by Advait Varadarajan.
No feet there. Pitched up, angled across. The feet not going anywhere. The hands going through with the shot. Gets an outside edge. A nice catch there by the young Varadarajan. Armin called it a few times. The future of wicket keeping for the Galaxy. And he does that chance, no harm. A beautiful catch to dismiss the prolific Trayvon Griffith.
Trayvon Griffith has to go. It'll bring in Ryan Wiggins, who's batted alongside Griffith for a very long time. A couple of innings so far, and they spent some time in the middle, but we'll have to get going with Sanjay Stanley. Griffith will feel disappointed. Isn't very often where he doesn't come off and score big runs. We've talked about it in his 4 previous innings. He's got 2 50s and a 40 to his name. So he's someone who scores and stays in, scores big. Today, unable to do so. Bringing in Ryan Wiggins, who, since he's been inserted into the lineup, has been very good, scoring runs at will.
The innings for the Raptors, this game was just going one way until then. A huge dent now created by the Orlando Galaxy. A wonderful catch, a spirited effort. This should make them feel a lot more confident, brings them into the game.
And again, we'll have to deal with Ryan Wiggins now, who has scored an abundance of runs for the Raptors at number 3, has really helped anchor innings for the Raptors, stuck in through difficult situations, and have to do so here again. 40 runs already on the board, so just want to make sure they continue to keep their scoreboard ticking. But Hardik Desai is always threatening. But that one will start off with a huge wide through the offside, so 3 runs there for Wiggins and the Raptors.
Not the kind of ball you want to deliver for a new batter. A bunch of Galaxy players were staying back yesterday and watching Ryan Wiggins bat. They know a thing or two about his abilities. He's somebody who can stand up and hit tall. You don't want to pitch it up to him, but
With on offer, takes advantage and will pick up his first runs of the day to get himself off the mark. Again, this is something that he likes. You mentioned someone who likes to free his arms and hit the ball. If you give him any width, he's willing to punish you.
And now the role of Sanjay Stanley also becomes a lot more important for the Raptors. He has to realize that and try to take this innings deep, play long.
Pushes it through the offside. Going to find one off a missed field, but again, for Sanjay Stanley, runs are important for him as he tries to continue to navigate his way into this side. 5 overs gone, 43 for 1.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need 1 hand on the roof, 1 hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save because rewards come first.
Will have to being brought into the side today. It'll be Hito Leslie to bowl his first over in the power play. I like the aggressive move from Dimitri Adams. You have the spinner. Utilize them with 2 right-handers now in the middle. Slip in place as well. Again, he's missed out in a couple of games here, Hito, but he's back into the 11.
Yeah, last over of power play, spin being introduced.
Met on the full, hit straight back down the ground, cannot be there. Is going to be 6 runs no matter who you're bowling to, especially when you're bowling to Sanjay Stanley.
A full toss on offer, first ball, Sanjay Stanley staying in his crease, hitting it right out of the screws and out of the park. A good confidence shot, that one, to bring 6 runs on the first ball off over number 6. This should give him a lot of confidence.
Yeah, should give him a lot of confidence indeed. Again, not the way the spinner would have wanted to start it off in the over. Can Leslie get back to the right line and length? Better delivery this from Hito Leslie. Pulled the length back, and that's the key here. What lengths do you operate in? We saw Karthikeya Jagadish struggle with that yesterday, and so something to continue to watch for.
They're almost playing 2 shots on that occasion. Sanjay Stanley, a good sweeper of a cricket ball, but didn't go across the line, rightfully so. Once again, pitched up drives it to the mid-wicket region. So good comeback by the left-hander after that first full toss.
Short pulled into the leg side, and another boundary, another big one for Sanjay Stanley and the Morrisville Raptors. How about this from the young man?
Short of length, Sanjay Stanley rocks back, heaves it over deep mid-wicket. He's in a little bit of a pain of something of sort, but he's doing the job brilliantly here. Seems to have done some damage to himself. Not great news for Raptors. Some assistance being provided to him in the field. They would hope that he's not done any damage to his abdomen. He's holding it, trying to stretch it out now. Seems to be in great nick.
Yes, Sanjay Stanley has been dealing with a little bit of a niggle all the way through. Again, has plagued his minor league career. We've heard stories about how he's been in great form, and then the injuries have just taken away the confidence, taken away the rhythm. I'm going to hope he's going to be okay here. He seems to be in good spirits, the young man. I think it helps when you're scoring boundaries at will at the moment. A couple of sixes to his name, and again, he's leading. If he can lead the Raptors to a victory here, get them over the line, you would just think about the fact that he could cement himself up top the order.
Yeah, he's in a very, very important phase of his minor league cricket career with the Raptors. As Armin was saying on air some time back, has been a prolific cricketer in youth level in the local league, scored a ton of runs, was the vice captain of the under-19 USA national team a couple of cycles ago. Never found his footing in minor league cricket, has been on and off, with the Raptors struggling with the bat through the season. He's had a great start. If he can make this one count, he'd have done himself and the Raptors a lot of good.
Wide this time through the offside. Leslie just trying to stay away from the arc of Sanjay Stanley, but right now just struggling is the left arm spinner who's brought back into the side for today. And the Galaxy would need him to find some rhythm if they want any hopes of winning today's match. Left alone again, not called wide. Sanjay Stanley very, very unhappy with this, still looking around with his arms up. Again, still in fumes about that one. Leslie escapes with a dot ball. Much needed one for the Galaxy and him. Went for the sweep, cannot bowl. Can bowl there, but cannot hit that shot. That's not what you want to do if you're Sanjay Stanley. A good response, but it's still a good over for the Morrisville Raptors. 6 overs gone, 56 for 1. Back at back at the Buttermere Cricket Complex, and the Morrisville Raptors, just coming from Church Street Park, have started to make some rhythm here. But again, the wicket and the way it's been acting has just kept the Galaxy in the match.
Sanjay Stanley, the last ball of the previous over, going for the sweep shot. As we kept saying, he's very good with the sweep shot, but not the kind of surface where you want to do that. You're getting a lot of other deliveries on offer. You can still, he shows how beautifully he can hit straight through the line, back over the bowlers, mid on, mid off.
Gonna be a big wide there. Hardik Desai has struggled with the line today. He's usually been very consistent throughout minor league cricket, but he's testing Advait Varadarajan behind the stumps.
He has picked up the wicket of Traven Griffith, yes, but he hasn't bowled as well as you'd have expected. Hasn't used his experience to good effect in keeping the runs down. Has offered some free balls which have been scored off of, and also have bowled a couple of wides.
Width on offer this time, bat on ball. We'll pick up one. Will Ryan Wiggins? He wants two. Sanjay Stanley's got to hurry. He'll make it there in the end. Good running this from the Morrisville Raptors.
Yeah, wide on the outfield. Was always going to be two. Two good runners between the wickets, both fit. Was eventually able to jog in pretty comfortably. So the loss of Traven Griffith not really affecting the scoring rate for the Raptors. If anything, it's actually increased it with those two big sixers. And Raptors on the charge at this point.
Good delivery this from the side. Again, that's the line he's going to want to operate in. He's been good with the lengths throughout, but it's just been the line that's teetered off course. This time, started on the body length, and again, a little bit of extra bounce rushing Ryan Wiggins.
Yeah, like we said, Ryan Wiggins didn't look to be in great touch yesterday, but he managed to hang in there for a while, score some runs. Played really well a couple of days ago against the same team.
Fuller in length, edged, beats Vardadarajan behind the stumps. Will pick up 4 runs nonetheless. Nearly the second wicket for Hardik Desai.
Probably would have been a wide had he let that go. Full and swinging outside. Ryan Wiggins reaches out to that one, gets an outside edge, eludes the wicketkeeper, hits Lakshmi Advertising Board, one of our prolific sponsors. A boundary added to the total.
Yeah, Desai will get a touch of solace for that one because he nearly had his man. But again, for the liking of the surface, just far too wide, far too full. That's better. That's where you want to operate, at least in terms of the line, towards the stumps, keeping the batters honest, making sure they have to play at a delivery, and also you can't play across the line from there.
Yeah, tried to play that towards mid-wicket, not closing his face completely. That one swung out just a tad bit. Lucky that it didn't take the leading edge.
One delivery left in this 7th over. Another good one for the Morrisville Raptors. Slower ball, does well. Good change up there. Ryan Wiggins up to the task. 7 overs gone, 63 for 1.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Well, going to be spin, but not the left arm spin. It's going to be the leg spin of the young Matthew Comrie. Sweeps, gets enough bat on it to get for 1. Swithin, you mentioned Sanjay Stanley, a prolific sweeper, but on this surface, not one to do that.
If this one was pitched outside leg stump, I think he had the free license to swing that. Had he got a little more bit of more bat on that one, would have gotten himself another boundary, missing out slightly.
I don't want to get in too big of a habit of that, however. It was the right line, Swithin, but again, if you just find yourself in a habit of sweeping, can get tricky. Well played there. Good start for the young leg spinner, Matthew Comrie, who's been a member of this Galaxy side for 3 seasons now. And again, is still looking to really make an impact and really separate himself amongst the rest. But he's starting really well so far.
Yeah, nicely bowled that one, floating it up. Ryan Wiggins hardly uses his feet. You can fly it as much as you want. He's somebody who will look to stay in his crease and hit those long balls. Slightly short of length, a little bit of width, but Ryan Wiggins unable to make that count. Hits it to backward of point. So 3 back-to-back deliveries. A good start for Comrie.
Yeah, again, Matthew Comrie, very high in confidence. Always works. Seems to always be amongst the wickets. Just hasn't been really amongst the plans a lot of the time for the Orlando Galaxy. And, you know, sometimes you just feel maybe he should have been in the 11 a lot more than he has. He's been in and out, but seems to always make an impact. And started off the season in such a high fashion. Surprised to see him drop for the amount of games they had him. This one short cut, but backward point is there. Good over this from Matthew Comrie. Just the 1 run coming from it. At the end of 8 is 64 for 1. Back in this time is going to be another young man, Kishan Balagobin. He's been so prolific here at this facility so far today. Pulls out of it there, but again for Balagobin, someone who's just operated similar to Atindra Subramanian on a length, around stumps, and he's gotten the reward for that on multiple occasions. We'll start to Sanjay Stanley. And again, a little bit of extra bounce for Kishan there. This is why he's been so good on this surface. Not express, not moving it a whole bunch, but consistently where he needs to be.
Yeah, it's been a difficult sort of length to hit through. Anybody who's hit that length consistently has been pretty successful on the surface, and Govind will want to do that on a consistent basis.
Fuller find the inner half of the bat, and 1 for Sanjay Stanley. The runs are flowing for the Morrisville Raptors, and this is key. Again, haven't seen the big shots come out lately, but it's been more about them consistently and continuously finding singles. Just the runs needed under 80 now, and these two can see the game from there. Width on offer, but straight to the man stationed at cover. It's Rohit Dutchan. Again, Balagobin's been given a job, and he's just consistently done it well for his captain, Dimitri Adams.
Yeah, they're scoring at more than the required run rate at the 8-over mark. It's about just staying in there, not losing wickets, getting those 4-5 runs for the next few overs, and then looking to close out with wickets in hand.
Goes down the ground. Adams is quick, but I'm not sure he's that quick. He won't be. It'll be 4 runs as there's a collision between Adams and Comrie, but it's 4 runs nonetheless for the Morrisville Raptors.
Not the best of timings from Ryan Wiggins, but the placement was absolutely perfect. kept both the fielders in play. The ball goes right in between, crosses the fence, hits the side screen. A much needed boundary again for the Raptors.
Good way to keep the runs flowing for Ryan Wiggins. Look to do something similar and run it down a third man, but can't beat the keeper. Good comeback from Balagobin as he slows it down and got a little bit closer to stumps. The width is always the key on this type of a surface. If you're attacking the stumps, it's just hard for the batters to calculate that risk reward. Width again. This time it's in the air. Fielder's in place and taken. Kishan Balagobin, he's got his man, and that's a big moment in the match.
And that one was swinging out. Ryan Wiggins, as he's always done, tries to hit that over the fence, but not getting the timing he wanted. Goes up in the air. Fielder comes round and safely takes that one. Wicket number 2 lost for the Raptors. The Galaxy celebrating.
Ryan Wiggins, after a couple of shots, he has to go. It'll bring in Hansard Hamilton, and the Galaxy just been given a second breath of life here, and they can sense that they still have an opportunity in this match as the 9th over comes to an end. It's 69 for 2, and Hansard Hamilton will have a job to do here for the Morrisville Raptors.
Yeah, the top 2 run scorers for Morrisville Raptors this 2023 season of Sunoco Minor League back in the pavilion. The Orlando Galaxy sniffs a chance here. They can now think about putting the other batters under pressure. Very important for the Raptors to build a partnership here. 30, 35, 40 runs to stay safe and give themselves a chance to win this one. The run rate is not the problem. The lack of runs from the middle order could come into play here.
Yeah, just 74 more runs to get from 66 deliveries. Not a tall task, but again, the middle order has been an area of concern for the Morrisville Raptors, and they'll have to start off seeing the leg spinning Matthew Comrie. Again, he's always a danger, always a threat to take wickets whenever he's in the game and with the ball in hand. And again, Sanjay Stanley just cannot get carried away sweeping. Runs it to third man. They take that quick single on Sumit Sarawat, and will bring Hansard Hamilton on to strike for the first time today.
Yeah, Sanjay's role now becomes more and more important for the Raptors. Hope he senses that and plays a long one, takes it deep. Good call there from Hamilton. It's also good to see the left-hander on strike for the leg spinner.
Has a slip in place, does Comrie. Does have a good googly that'll just squirt across. And on this surface, again, we've seen the ball slide and some skid. And you're just wondering if googly just quickens up, gets a little extra bounce. Similar to what Adi Gupta was able to extract on the surface. It could be a quick day in the middle.
Yeah, the field setup suggests that he's going to angle the delivery across the left-hander, not bowl the regular leg spinner.
Pushed into the offside nicely. Will pick up his first runs, Hansard Hamilton. Good way for him to get off the mark.
Once again, good hands, quick hand speed there from Hamilton. Was probably looking to hit that over cover. Gets a thick one outside, goes towards backward point and gets off the mark.
And this is an opportunity here for the Galaxy. If they can just take a couple wickets, Stanley will just push it down the ground. This is good from him, keeping the singles flowing. Again, you don't want to let the pressure build. You often see runs start to dry up after a wicket falls, but if they can keep finding singles and doubles, they just keep themselves ahead of the match.
Yeah, probably an opportunity for the Galaxy to bring an extra fielder in, especially straight down the wicket and make the batters play across the line.
Left alone from Hansard Hamilton. Good delivery. You mentioned it, Swithin. the field set up for the ball sliding across the left-hander. So far, operating with that plan.
Yeah, he knows that if he's spinning it into him, Hamilton is somebody who will try to go over the top and clear the mid-wicket corner areas. Not doing that.
Pushed into the offside. They'll get this quick single. There's good work from the Morrisville Raptors, seeing the little pockets in the field and taking advantage, not letting the bowlers just have their way.
Yeah, they should tell themselves that they got to get 4 or 5 singles every over, and the odd boundaries will come. There will be bad deliveries that you can put away. You have to trust that, and that will keep you in the game and give yourself a great chance of winning this one. Don't want to force the issue at this point.
Pushed down the ground, and we'll get one to close out the 10th over. 69 runs left to get for the Morrisville Raptors in the final 10. 74 for 2.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
Balagobin to continue. Starts off with a slower ball, and Stanley does well to pick up a single. Really could have pushed for 2, but they'll take the one. Again, if they can just find their way with the singles, they'll keep themselves in the game. Just 68 needed from 59, so well within the grasps of the Morrisville Raptors.
Hamilton there never was looking for a second run, just gently jogged his way to get across for a single.
And again now Balagobin, a new challenge bowling to the left-hander. Up with the stumps is Varadarajan, and again, hasn't seemed to matter who's on strike for Kishan. He's just done the job that his captain has ordered for him.
They're bowling to the left-hander for the first time today. Gobin pulls out of the run-up. Match on the knife edge. Dimitri Adams and his team are looking for a wicket here at this stage.
Well bowled from Balagobin. He gets Hamilton on the return throw, but it's good intensity, it's good work from the young man. Again, we mentioned how Varadarajan is a keeper of the future for the Galaxy. This man, Kishan Balagobin, he's someone they see as a bowler of the future for their side. Hanchard Hamilton wants one just to the right of Rohit Dutchan, and they're able to sneak it away and keep the runs flowing for the Morrisville Raptors.
Yeah, good effort from the big man, diving to his right and stopping that, saving a run for his team. And I think Sanjay Stanley has got his approach right in the last couple of overs after the wicket of Ryan Wiggins. He's just been looking to take a single of each delivery that he's facing, playing it straight, long on, long off, be it a spinner, medium pacer. He's just going about his business.
Down the leg side, far too easy for Sanjay Stanley. Is going to pick up 4 runs there, missing the length that time. Kishan Balagobin.
A free gift on offer. Everything wrong about that delivery. Too short. An angle down the leg side. Sanjay Stanley just uses the angle and puts it away for a boundary.
Yeah, good work from Sanjay Stanley. Takes a lot of the pressure off the over as well. Again, you can't afford this if you're the Galaxy. With the Raptors cruising, there's really no room for error. And for any batter worth the salt, a flick off the hips are going to be far, far too easy. How does Balagobin respond? Pushed down the ground for one by Sanjay Stanley. Again, good comeback there from the young man.
Yeah, compensates for his mistake, pitches one up. Nice timing on that occasion. The ball was speeding towards the long off fence. Skipper Adams, very athletic, runs across and stops that one. But Sanjay will be happy with the outcome of that one.
Pushed into the leg side. Hanchard Hamilton is doing well, doing the role that's been set out for him and the rest of the Raptors bats. 11 overs gone, 82 for 2.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Back in the Button Veers Cricket Complex, Matthew Comrie to bowl his third over. Starts off well to Hanchard Hamilton. Has to dig out the Yorker length delivery. Again, for Comrie, you don't want to escape this over without a wicket in hand. It's going to be important for the Galaxy to now pile some wickets together to give them momentum heading into the final stretch of this game.
Missed his length completely there, but Hanchard Hamilton unable to make use of it. Wanted to go over to the leg side, but changing his shot in the last second, just managing to hit it to cover.
Again short, but again not able to take advantage of it is Hanchard Hamilton. You can see him try to pull on the front foot, but just hasn't worked.
Yeah, staying a little low, not bouncing enough for him to be able to take a heave. No timing on both the occasions. The slip now moving out of his position to a short third man region.
Pushes it into the offside. They'll pick up a single at Kishan Balagobin. After a couple of dot balls there, it's a good way to get Hanchard Hamilton off strike, let him see some deliveries at the non-striker's end. And again, you feel with him that with the Raptors batting to come, the likes of Dane Pete and the big hitting that you'll have, and maybe someone like a Raynard Leverage, you feel that these two are going to have to bat a long way.
Especially Sanjay Stanley. He's got the start.
And unable to take advantage of this one. It'll be wide, well kept from Varadarajan. But again, Comrie's just slid down the leg side on a couple of occasions. He's going to want to be better than that.
Yeah, probably hit him on his knee roll on the side. Just missing the protection, the leg guard. Probably needs some attention as the batters use the opportunity to get some water for themselves.
Yeah, Varadarajan back up on his feet, saying that he's okay. You can see just a little bit of a limp back to the stumps, but good to see him back on his feet and moving around. Again, we'll see if that hinders his ability to keep wicket at all throughout the day.
It's never easy keeping wickets on a surface like this, up and down, variable bounce and pace. Varadarajan has done a lot better than many others we've seen keeping wickets. Brushing aside that injury, coming back and ready to do it again.
Comrie does well, really good stop. Got his hands down very quickly again with his follow through. Usually is off to short cover. but that time able to stop himself and settle his hands, saves a run.
Yeah, that one was hit from the middle of the bat. It sounded really good, but not getting a run, Sanjay.
Down the ground, down the track, is going to pick up some more runs. Yeah, it'll be 6 of them. Sanjay Stanley's in some kind of a mood today. Picks up 6 runs to close the over.
Not afraid to use his feet. The moment he saw the ball lopped up, uses his feet, gets to the pitch of the ball, and he chooses the right area. Very safe in cricket, any day, any format. Straight down the ground, clears the fielder, clears the rope. A much needed 6 for the Raptors.
Sanjay Stanley has now moved into the 40s after that 6 on just 27 deliveries. We mentioned it. He's the man looking to cement his place on the side, and on a difficult wicket and really a must-win situation, he's put his hand up for the captain and his team.
It's going to be very important on how he closes out. Has to stay right through and make everybody believe that they found a solution for the batting woes they've had all season. He's definitely looked a lot better than he's looked ever in minor league cricket. Wants to play, wants to prove a point to everybody who's watching. The talent was never a question, but the roles he's had to play in the previous seasons hasn't really helped. Has he found a spot?
Bala Gobin's now going to look to stifle some of the momentum that the Raptors have found in the previous couple deliveries. And no run on offer. Good start here for Kishun. Again, you could see his willingness to use the slower ball has helped him a lot here, especially when he's been close to stumps, and has operated really well, the young man. Pushed into the leg side. Good way for Hamilton to pick up a single. Could push for 2. Hamilton sent Sanjay Stanley back. No overthrows on offer either, but again, good running, good decision making from Hanchard Hamilton.
There was a possibility of a second maker, pushed the fielder, but Hamilton not wanting to do that. In the end, maybe a right decision, like Aman was saying. He doesn't want to lose a wicket at this stage. Losing either batsman could be very, very difficult for the chase. With close to 50 runs still needed.
Pushed into the leg side. Sanjay Stanley will pick up a single. Again, you mentioned it. It could just be a little bit difficult for the Raptors if they were to lose a wicket from here. And that's why the Galaxy are still well and truly in this game, because of the fact that the depth maybe just isn't there for the Raptors this season compared to seasons past. And so if you can just break this partnership, you can find your way and claw your way back into this match.
Absolutely. And again, somebody who has done a finisher's role is not playing this game. Abhiram Boliseti, that can cause a little bit of trouble. Pitched up delivery, angled down the leg side, flicks it towards deep mid wicket, gets a comfortable single. And Hamilton does not look to score any boundaries or play anything that is out of the ordinary. He's just looked to rotate strike, take those singles. Hasn't really gotten any freebies either, not a lot.
And that truly is the key, I think, for Hanchard Hamilton, is understood the role he's been sent out with. Just keep the scoreboard ticking. I think it's smart from the Raptors. Again, especially with the way Sanjay Stanley has been striking the ball, and that they're able to find runs. As long as they can get 5 to 7 runs and over, and then the odd boundary to follow, they're still well ahead of the game. So this is actually a really good tactic from, I'm sure, Dane Pete, that he sent out with Hanchard Hamilton, of we're not going to do anything extraordinary, especially on a wicket that's tough to bat on. Just keep everything within yourself. Runs it through third man. No run on offer. Good fielding at backward point to close out what was a 13th over that the Orlando Galaxy will be happy with. 93 for 2.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need one hand on the roof, one hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save because rewards come first.
Welcome back to minor league cricket. It's nice to see Hansard Hamilton doing the role he's doing. He's not being affected by his seniority, his experience. He's just supporting Sanjay Stanley. No egos there. Wonderful to watch. He's trusting his senior partner in this partnership, though he's a young player, and it's working well for the Raptors. A change of bowling, a left-arm seamer comes into the attack, trying to break this partnership.
Find a couple of runs into the offside. They'll find two of them. It's good running from the Morrisville Raptors. And you mentioned the veteran leadership here from Hansard Hamilton. And I think because of the veteran presence that he is, he understands that there isn't a lot to do, and he has a partner at the other end who's striking it well. So he just has to play within himself. Doesn't have to do anything extra. And you mentioned no egos involved, and no need for that as well. Just because you have a man in the middle who's striking it quite nicely and has made life difficult for the Galaxy bowlers already. Just continue to support him. The new bowler for the Galaxy is Manav Patel, and he'll be looking to strike the wickets here. Can he just twist the game? Beats the outside edge as Hamilton looked to run it down through third man.
The left arm seamer seems to be in good rhythm, running in nicely. Just testing the outside edge on a couple of occasions. The first time Hamilton was able to place it into the outfield and get a couple of runs, and beaten this time.
Into the leg side, Hamilton gets off the mark quickly, and again, the Morrisville Raptors have done a really good job of this in particular, finding those singles and doubles consistently through. And we talk about this consistently, but what about this for Sanjay Stanley? What an innings it's been for him so far. 41, and I'm sure he's going to want to get to that milestone, because this is a man who, again, has just not been able to find a spot in minor league cricket, not a consistent one for that matter. And right now, he's been just the best I think we've seen him through 3 seasons.
Absolutely. I was talking to him prior to yesterday's game. He was raring to go. He was kicking himself for not being picked in the 11, despite the number of combinations the Raptors have gone with this season. He was just eager, and the eagerness and his ability coming together today.
Pulled down the leg side. It was not a good delivery. Only gets one off of it, but again, runs on offer. It was wide. Rather just beat everyone on the way through.
Yeah, short and bowled into the surface, down the leg side. Had the opportunity to pick it and dispatch it for a boundary. Once again, missing it down the leg side. But 2 wides taken. 3 runs added to the total.
Yeah, it's just letting off the pressure for the Galaxy. They've, again, still in the game, but doing this, they'll just do themselves a disservice. And the Raptors just get some free runs. 45 now needed. Into the offside for Hansard Hamilton. Takes an awkward bounce off the surface and a lead to 1, maybe 2 off of a misfield. No, Balagobins does get well enough to keep it to just 1. But it was not the first time we've seen the artificial turf next to the wicket impact the play.
Absolutely. It's happened a few times in every ground that I've seen cricket being played here. It's not the best of conditions, but it's what we have.
Looking for the big shot. Sanjay Stanley misses out. It's jumped quite a bit, and I think it might have gone Advait Varadarajan in the helmet there on the grill. It definitely got him high on the body. Gonna hope he's okay. He's holding that right shoulder, so I think he just caught him there. He's taking a beating already behind the stumps.
It definitely looked like it was in his arc, Sanjay Stanley. The shot selection was spot on, but just missing out. Probably bouncing a little bit, spongy kind of a bounce. Lucky it didn't take the outside edge, and unfortunately for Varadarajan, who's been keeping pretty well, hits him on his shoulder, and down he goes on his knees. As we keep saying, a very, very difficult strip to keep wickets on.
Very difficult indeed, and again, going to hope Varadarajan is okay. That's first and foremost. You can see a huddle around him. He's up on his feet with some water, and again, umpire just want to test the conditions and how to love the safety protocols, have to fulfill all those requirements as well, and again, rightfully so. In this day and age, we just want to make sure that we're not putting anyone in unnecessary danger. But Varadarajan, he's a trooper. He's taken a beating so far today, but now he's up on his feet, brushes it off, a sip of water, and he's back with the gloves on, the helmet on, ready to go for another bout. For Manav Patel here, he started off real nicely. Hasn't been taken for that boundary, and he's kept things nice and tight. And for the Orlando Galaxy, he's just going to want to be rewarded with a wicket. Can he find one? Can he just turn the tables and twist the tail here for the Morrisville Raptors? A little extra bounce, gets that quick single there. They'll find it. Good running from Sanjay Stanley and Hansard Hamilton to close out the 14th over. The 100 comes on the board. 100 for 2. Kishan Balagobin, he'll bowl his final over here for the Orlando Galaxy. 43 from 36. It's becoming another nail-biting affair here at the Butterbeers Cricket Complex. Straight to this point, who do you think has the upper hand?
Oh, definitely the Raptors. Been a template of chases. We saw the Atlanta Fire chasing yesterday.
Down the leg side, it's freebies, it's wides, it's going to be a wide, and they'll take one off it as well. Can't afford that if you're Kishan Balagobin and the Orlando Galaxy. Just free ways to keep the scoreboard ticking.
Yeah, absolutely. With wickets in hand, it's definitely the Raptors who have the upper hand on this contest. On the other hand, the Galaxy, if they pick up a wicket and get the middle order in with more than a run of ball to be scored still, they can put the Raptors under pressure. It's extremely important for the two batters, like we saw Obaspinar and Aaron Jones do yesterday, to play right through.
Into the leg side. Good running here from the Morrisville Raptors. They'll pick up one. It's smart batting. Again, attacking the pads have Balagobin done to Hamilton all throughout the day. And Hamilton's been more than happy just to help it into the leg side for one.
Yeah, they already have 3 runs off the over in just one delivery, courtesy the 2 wides. They just look to score those 5 runs, and the odd boundary will get them about 8-9 in this over.
Sanjay Stanley on 42 here, eyeing that half century, eyeing a Raptors win. Good delivery from Balagobin on a length. That's the key. When you're on that length, it's just tough to play, and the young man has done that in spades.
Yeah, didn't bounce as much as Sanjay Stanley would have liked to,
Gets bat on ball. It's in the air. It's just short of Matthew Comrie out in the deep. Nearly. The Galaxy had their hands up in the air. They were ready to take a wicket, but just falling short of Matthew Comrie at long gone.
Yes, Sanjay Stanley, they're sensing the need for a boundary. A couple of boundaries will bring that equation down to a run a ball. So wanting to hit that boundary, tries to go long but mishits that one.
Down the leg side, it's up in the air. Vatharajan was underneath it, but I don't know if anyone's going to be there. What an effort. What an effort that was. He's run all the way from mid-wicket. How has he gotten there? What a catch that is for the Orlando Galaxy.
It's an unbelievable catch. Trying to hit that towards the mid-wicket. Top edge goes right up in the air. Running from the offside all the way with three fielders calling for it. We'll get the name of the fielder in a second. Dives across, takes it inches off the surface. A critical wicket for the Galaxy. Hamilton's being sent away with that brilliant catch. A lot of wickets still left, but is this some sort of an opening for the Galaxy in this wonderfully poised game?
Manav Patel with an excellent grab, running all the way from mid-wicket to go get that one. That ended up, he'd be at cover for the left-hander. Runs all the way from there to fine leg to end up with that one in hand. They send out Mohammad Abdullah Shah, another man who's back into the 11. Hasn't played a lot of games in minor league cricket, but has an opportunity now to cement his role as a finisher here at number 5.
Now, the good thing about that catch was he never gave up. He wasn't sure who was getting under that one. He wasn't sure if he was going to get under that one either. He just kept going. I'm sure he was seeing the other fielders, the wicketkeeper also included, through the periphery of his vision. He kept going, never stopped. Nobody really called for that one. Was able to get under that one somehow. Abdullah Shah is the new batsman and he has to take strike based on the new rules.
Pushed down the ground, but no single on offer. Rohit Dutchan all over it. The Galaxy, they're back in this match and they can sense it. They know there's something in the cards for them here to claim their first win in 2023.
A perfectly capable batter has opened the innings for the Raptors in a couple of seasons in the past, but he's under a lot of pressure.
Runs it down to backward point. Chance of a run out. Sanjay Stanley, he's home. He's home. Nearly disaster for the Morrisville Raptors to close the 15th over. It's 105 for 3. Back at the Buttonviers Cricket Complex, Mohammad Abdullah Shah. He's on strike, new to the middle. But he's going to have to make some runs. Doesn't need to do a lot. Just facilitate the strike. We're facing Manav Patel. Remember, took that brilliant take, running all the way from the offside to fine leg. And again, he's going to want to lead from the front. Can he take one of his own? Here we go, his first delivery of the over. Runs it down. Quick chance of a run out here. And got him. Sanjay Stanley's got to go. How big is that moment? How big is this moment? And Sanjay Stanley can't quite believe it. He's up in arms. And another wicket, a turn here for the Morrisville Raptors.
Did he run himself out here? It was pretty quick. Went straight into the hands of the fielder at backward point. A brilliant, flat and quick arm. Back to the wicketkeeper, takes the bails off in a flash. Stanley doesn't believe that he was out. He has to make his way back to the pavilion because the umpire says so. Don't have the angles to capture that and call it a wicket lost, a crucial one for the Raptors. The moment he took off, I thought it was going to be suicidal because it was straight into the hands. Nice bounce and a flat arm. A good grab by Varatharajan, didn't fumble under pressure. Takes the bails off. Two new batters.
Dane Pete joining Mohammad Abdullah Shah in the middle. Again, trying to just get that quick single to bring Sanjay Stanley on to strike, but has not worked in his favor. And now Dane Pete will be facing Manav Patel, and he's inflicting some kind of pain and some kind of pressure upon the Morrisville Raptors. Been involved in a couple of wickets now into the Raptors captain. Run into the similar area, but this time away from the fielders. Very simple single that time for Dane Pete and the Raptors.
Yeah, and the arrival of Dane Pete would certainly bring some calmness and approach to the Raptors. Abdullah Shah also trying to find a place in this lineup. Would be under some sort of pressure. You still need about 30 runs, and 37 runs still needed.
Width on offer, unable to take advantage of it. Mohammad Abdullah Shah, very natural, aggressive player. When he's given width, he's going to look to swing his arms through the line. And again, a very important moment for him. Sanjay Stanley was a well-made 43 runs, but now it's Mohammad Abdullah Shah looking to cement his self into this middle order. Runs it again. This time Dane Pete sends him back. Says no, Dane Pete not wanting to repeat what happened to Sanjay Stanley.
Is perfectly capable of finishing this off. Abdullah Shah just has to believe and forget all the factors relating to his place in the side. Just play normal cricket. His talent and ability will definitely help him. He has to trust that.
Down the ground. Has he picked the fielder? No, he's picked the gap. Then he's going to find himself with 6 runs there. Mohammad Abdullah Shah takes some pressure out. And what a shot for the Morrisville Raptors.
We're just talking about his ability. He's played a lot of cricket. He trusts his ability. Goes through with the shot. Pitched up. Curves that one away from the long off fielder. It didn't matter in the end where he hit it. It was over the fence. An extremely important 6, a pressure-relieving 6 for the Raptors.
Yeah, 1 delivery left in the over. 112 runs on the board. 31 now needed from the final 25. Again, still the Raptors, you'd say, are in front. But for the Orlando Galaxy, they can just affect the game with some wickets. They created pressure with the quick wickets of Hanchard Hamilton and Sanjay Stanley. But Mohammad Abdullah Shah, liking the width and the length of that delivery, was able to take advantage. Got to get that length back. Outer edge, taken a backward point. Manav Patel, he's putting himself in this game here, this time with the wicket of Mohammad Abdullah Shah.
Oh, full and closing his face too quickly. Gets the outside edge, goes the opposite direction than where the batsman intended to go. A nice and simple catch at backward of point. Once again, causing some trouble for the Morrisville Raptors. The Orlando Galaxy are back in it. They've got 3 wickets in the last over and a half. Still a lot of batting left. Very capable. Just 31 runs needed. Dane Pete, a skipper with a lot of experience, still out in the center. Rohan Phadke comes into the center to join a skipper. Just need to take it deep.
Yeah, Rohan Phadke will join as captain. And again, not a lot to do. Don't have to score in a hurry, but just have to make sure to keep the runs flowing. Dane Pete is made for these situations. We've seen it do it time and time again for the Morrisville Raptors. Talk about last year in Atlanta against the Atlanta Lightning, hitting the winning runs off Kyle Phillip against the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers on July 4th weekend in 2022, hitting the winning runs there to win that match at Church Street Park. He's someone who's accustomed to playing in pressure situations. Different role for Rohan Phadke, a lot of pressure on the young man, and it won't get any easier because the Galaxy are going to turn to their premier strike bowler in Sumit Sarawat. Has a fifer in minor league cricket. It's hard to put away, operates good on a length around off stump, and on this surface that is just two-faced in nature, he can be a real problem for the Morrisville Raptors. Again, going to need clear calls here. Just 5 wickets left in hand. 31 runs to get from the final. 4 overs. It's going to be tight, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. Into the leg side, over the top of the leg side. Fielder in place. We'll keep it to just 1. Good work there out in the deep, but Dane Pete very early on finding ways to score runs.
How beautiful is T20 cricket. Only 4 overs left, but still you need that small window of scoring where you need to not necessarily look for the big shots. 5 wickets down. All they need is a couple of big hits. There are a lot of batters in the dugout who can do that. Score another 4-5 for the next 2 overs. Take it deep.
Phadke into the offside. Will pick up a single. Good from Rohan there. Smart. Again, doesn't have to do anything extra. I think that's where he's struggled at times in minor league cricket. We saw it last year in the playoffs against the New Jersey Stallions. Really hit a 4 off Paul Palmer and then try to reverse sweep straight away. Didn't need that at that stage. It's going to be an important time for him to play a mature innings. Pete into the leg side. Will pick up a single. Good batting from the Raptors. This is good. Again, the Galaxy, they're keeping things tight, but the Raptors, they can keep the runs flowing. They keep themselves in the match.
Absolutely. I think the right combination out in the center. 2 batters who are not going to slog, but look to get those 1s and 2s. As I said, despite only 4 overs being left in this innings, they need that 2 overs where they get about 10 runs and give themselves about 20 to get in the last couple of overs. With the likes of Adi Gupta, Dyer, they can definitely get those 2 big ones later.
Single here for Rohan Phadke. That was just wide of Rohit Dutchin. Again, and you would just talk about Everroy Dyer not being into the 11 today, so they're without the likes of him. And so they're going to need to really rely on these 2, and it would be a real precious situation for Adi Gupta, who does have the pedigree of being a big hitter, but a lot to ask of a young man who's making his way back into minor league cricket. Sarawat has been good in the over so far. Slower ball, sliced into the air. Fielders converging. Takes the catch, and Dane Pete's got to go. Sumit Sarawat, he's done the job. And the Morrisville Raptors now without their captain.
A huge wicket in the context of the game. Dane Pete trying to swipe that one. Gets an outside edge. How beautifully has the fielder run around from backward of point. Third man was also coming in. He called for it. Got under that one. Catches that. Sends the skipper back into the pavilion.
Now it's 2 young men in the middle as the Orlando Galaxy are on their high horse at the moment. They've done everything right. They've brought the inexperience into the middle. It's Rohan Phadke being joined by Adi Gupta. And now a lot to rest on the 2 shoulders of the under-19s.
Yeah, not the kind of surface which is going to be easy for somebody to go and hit those big sixes straight away. Again, the thought process should be to take it to the last over. You don't want to lose another wicket here. Take it to the last over. Even if it's 15 plus runs, you give yourself a chance with the 2 batters still in the crease. You don't want to leave it to the bowlers. We all know how big Adi can hit. Just got to tell himself to play those 10 deliveries.
Pushed into the leg side. Nice to get off the mark there from Adi Gupta. Again, always going to be key to keep yourself in the game, as you mentioned, Swithin. But Sumit Sarawat has done the job of the strike bowler, taking the wicket of the captain. 17 overs gone, 117 for 6.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Well, Swift, and you mentioned it earlier, Manav Patel's catch of Hanchard Hamilton has really turned this game on its head. He's back with ball in hand, and why not? He's just done the job. He's inflicted wickets into Rohan Phadke. Into Adi Gupta, and he starts off well. Again, never easy to get going, and Manav Patel's been on the right line of length throughout the day.
It's now a contest between two good cricketers for who the stars have lined up. Adi was prolific with the ball. He had a great day, and he would want to show that he can also do it with the bat. And on the other hand, Manav Patel, brilliant bowling performance and some excellent fielding. Who's going to give in?
Looks for the big shot, unable to get it, but they'll find runs through third man, make it 4 of them. An edgy boundary for Adi Gupta, but a boundary nonetheless, and a good way for the Raptors to get some runs.
Not where he intended, absolutely on the opposite side. Adi Gupta trying to hit that towards the mid-wicket region, gets the outside edge, and he will turn back and say, well, I don't care where it came from, how it came, but I got the 4 runs. And that's what the Raptors would also be interested in, runs.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where they come at this point. As long as they do come, you need 22 more of them in the next 16 deliveries. Again, Manav Patel has been so hard to put away, but if you can just take this game deep and give yourself maybe about 12 to 16 runs in the final over, you'd fancy your chances. Tucked into the leg side. Smart batting from Adi Gupta.
Excellent batting that. He's somebody who will want to hit those big sixes, but curbing his natural instincts. He knows that he's got the boundary that he needed. He wants to take it deep. He doesn't want to get out with 2 overs to go. Wants to be in that last over. Even if it's 12, 15 runs, he knows he can get that. And just tucks it away to the leg side and gets himself to the other end.
An important game in context of playoffs for the Morrisville Raptors. And Rohan Phadke will get another single here for Morrisville. Very important. You mentioned the playoffs for the Morrisville Raptors. No playoff chances for the Galaxy, but never want to go through a season without winning a match. This is what they're doing. They're fighting for this final win. Good to see the character of the team really stand through, even with a match that doesn't mean much. They're just looking to play spoiler now for the Morrisville Raptors.
Yeah, the closest they probably got themselves to winning a game this season, and they would want to win this one and say to the world that they can win and then rebuild next season.
Looking big again, missing again, running through third man again, this time just for 1. Came a long way across his crease there, Adi Gupta, to take it into the leg side. Has to be watchful. Very, very difficult.
Yeah, total miss hit once again. Not trying to play a big shot, but was trying to probably hit it towards the long on region. The ball angled across, takes the outside edge for the second time this over. Not much of a damage to the Galaxy, just trickles down towards the short third man region. 1 run taken, but that'll be good for the Raptors.
Beats Rohan Phadke. Good delivery to close out this 18th over here for the Orlando Galaxy. Folks, don't go anywhere. It's going to be a nail biter. 19 from 12.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
Starting to heat up here at the Buttonviers Cricket Complex, where the Morrisville Raptors will need 19 from the final 2 overs. Sumit Sarawat to continue. Digs out a Yorker, Adi Gupta. Well done to pick up 1. And again, you wouldn't say it's a tough task to get these runs, but for 2 inexperienced men in the middle, the moment could just get a little bit too big for them.
Rohan Phadke has been a consistent player in the team, so he should not have any pressure in his mind. And he can score those big shots. He showed us that he could in the game against the Fire a couple of days ago. 18 of 11.
Meets it on the full. Rohan Phadke 1 again out to Dimitri Adams. You can see the plan straight up from Sumit Sarawat. He's looking for that Yorker delivery. And Sarawat can play hero here for the Orlando Galaxy. Has that ability and consistently does it. Can he do it once more for his side?
On the other hand, any of these under 21 players can become a hero tonight if they can see that through.
Down the track, in the air, should be taking, covers underneath it, and gone. Adi Gupta this time can't escape. And another twist in the tail. Sumit Sarawat, he's done the job for the Orlando Galaxy.
Once again, trying to hit through that mid-wicket region. Ball moving away from him, takes a outside edge, goes straight up in the air. No one's going to drop that. An important wicket. And Galaxy now getting a firmer grip on this game, I would say. But it's not lost, not all lost for the Morrisville Raptors. Just a couple of big hits will see them through. But who is going to deliver that? You have to wait and see. 9 deliveries left in this innings.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one here for the Raptors now as Rashesh Behera walks into the middle, left with a lot of runs still to go get. We talked about Sarawat being the premier strike bowler, and Behera and Phadke, 2 medium pacers, will need 17 runs from 9 deliveries with just 3 wickets in hand. Don't want to get to the likes of an Unsharai. Don't want to save anything for him. These two, alongside Raynard Leverage, are going to really be the key figures to finish things off. But these two, if you're the Raptors, you feel confident that if they can stick in, that you could get over the line. But the Galaxy, they had a surprise upset last year against the Raptors. Is there another one in store here?
Yeah, you never know in T20 cricket until it's done.
This is the bounce. This is the bounce of the wicket. There's no run on offer. And Advait Varadarajan makes sure of that. Sumit Sarawat makes sure of that. That man on your screen has been so good.
Absolutely. Rohan Phadke, the mainstay, I would say, in this situation. He can definitely win it for the Raptors. You have to wait for it.
Behera gets one. He'll get one there. Good work for him meeting that one on the full, but Sarawat has done an excellent job in this over. Take nothing away from him. It was just 19 to go and get. Now 16 runs on the board left to had for the Morrisville Raptors, and still 7 balls to go. Sarawat's come out of this over with the beauty. He's only given up 3 runs, taken a wicket as well. Again, we talked about him as one of the few bright spots on a losing season, showing it once again today. Swing and a miss for Rohan Phadke, but it's a wide. Advait Varadarajan can't believe it, but a big call there.
The umpire keeping his cool, not succumbing to anything that's happening out the center, taking his time and making his decision. 1 important run added. Just 1 delivery left and a big one for either teams. Can Rohan Phadke hit a big one, or is he thinking about taking a single and keeping himself on strike for the next over?
Look for the big one, edged, gone, Rohan Phadke goes, and Sumit Sarawat got the extra delivery, took advantage, and this is why he's the premier bowler for the Orlando Galaxy.
And once again, he was trying to go down to the leg side. The ball was going away from the batter. Rohan Phadke gets an outside edge. A straightforward catch to Varadarajan, who's been very good behind the wickets. Not going to drop that one. Is it all over for the Raptors? 6 deliveries still left in this innings.
6 deliveries left, but still so many runs. 15 of them, in fact, as Raynard Leverage will make his way out into the middle. Sumit Sarawat's done the job in the penultimate over. That's the job of the bowler who's bowling in that situation, to make life easier for the man finishing the innings. And Raynard Leverage, a big, tall, quick. He's in the middle alongside Rashesh Behera. It's a tall ask for 2 of the medium pacers to go and finish the job. And the Orlando Galaxy are on the verge of win number 1 in this 2023 Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship.
And it also means that the opportunity for the Morrisville Raptors to stay in contention for the playoffs would be lost. I'm not 100% sure of that, but it'll do a big damage to their chances of qualifying for playoffs. They might be a mathematical possibility, but it's just going to become an uphill task for them to pull themselves together and cross the line to qualify.
Still with the most amount of games at any Southern Division team, so a loss here wouldn't take them out. It would just make it so each game is a must-win, and then that run rate still would come into play. But who else is going to bowl this final over but Manav Patel? That catch of Hansford Hamilton changed the game, and now he has an opportunity to end it right here. 15 from the final over. Ladies and gentlemen, this is minor league cricket. Bahera in the air. We'll find four. We'll find four. How about this bounce off the surface? Some luck coming in the favor of the Morrisville Raptors, and a great way to start the over.
Hits it right off the middle, the best he could do there, Bahera. And then some assistance from the outfield. The fielder rightly positioning himself to take that one. Stop that one from going to the boundary, but the ball says, I will go the other way. 4 runs.
Just 11 more to get. 11 from 5. Really nothing wrong with that from Manav Patel, but Bahera got the luck from the outfield. What more does he have in store? We haven't seen leverage with the bat yet. Bahera showing he can swing it around. In the air, in the air. Who wants it? Will anyone find it? It'll fall safely, and they'll come back for 2. They're attempting the 2. And I think Bahera's gone. Yes, he is. Bahera goes. To add insult to injury, he's cut up the arm, but there you go, Vadaraja behind the stumps, clinical as ever.
Not too sure if there was a second run there. It was in the air, falling safely in no man's land. Bahera coming back for the second, trying to put the pressure on the fielder. Unable to do that, unable to make his home. Loses the 9th wicket. And should he have left it to leverage the big man?
Well, they made that decision quickly there, Schwitt, and they both wanted to. It just wasn't quick enough, and Bahera has to go after that one boundary. It'll bring out Untry, again small in stature and not known for his power hitting. I think the message for him would be get a single, get the big quick on strike, and see what can happen with him. But a tall ask for the under-19 here.
Untry, when he was told at the beginning of the season that he might be in the team for the Raptors, would have never imagined to be holding his bat. He's in the team for those left arm spinners, but now in with the bat. He can hit a ball, but not sure at this stage of cricket. He'd be looking to take that single and give it to the big man and say, boss, you are the one to do it. Get those couple of big shots out of the ground and get us home.
Yeah, and for the Orlando Galaxy, it's Manav Patel. He's been the story. That catch, and again, with his bowling, consistently on a length, the right line, and it's just made things really difficult. And now a big, tall ask for the small man. Again, can he find a single? 10 runs to get for the Morrisville Raptors. 4 deliveries to do it. It's just a couple of strikes. But can Manav Patel finish it right here? And it's gone! 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 Untry goes! Manav Patel's off to the races because he's done it. He's played hero for the Orlando Galaxy and has delivered the first win for them in 2023.
Untry there. Not sure what has happened. Tries to just run across to the other side. The umpire's finger went up. He thought he'd probably hit the ground. There was a big noise there. A beautiful catch by Varadarajan. The deflection seems to indicate that it was off the outside edge. And a big win for the Orlando Galaxy. The first of the season. The Raptors have just blown it away. With Sanjay Stanley and Hansford Hamilton at the center. It looked like it was going one way. No, says the Orlando Galaxy. The catch that Manav Patel took of Hamilton just turned things around. Loses 8 wickets in quick succession thereafter, and the Raptors have to take a long drive back to Morrisville with the defeat. That will be very, very tough for them to accept.
Incredible end to this match here. The Morrisville Raptors, they fall thanks to some brilliant bowling from the Orlando Galaxy. 3 wickets for Sumit Sarawat, just giving up 23 runs in his 4 overs. 2 wickets for Kishan Balagobin, but Manav Patel's 2 wickets and his 3.3 overs, and that catch that he took changed the game. What a day it's been here at the Button Viers Cricket Complex. Don't go anywhere because we've got another game in store. But the Orlando Galaxy, they pick up their first win. I'm Aman Patel for Shwetan Srinivasan and for our producer and director, Babar Beg. We appreciate you for joining us. Don't go anywhere. We got another match headed your way. Change that. Look to go down the ground and will get down the ground. A bit of width on offer and gets it all the way for 6 runs there. It's a huge way for Sanjay Stanley to close out this 3rd over and release some of the pressure that was just building. This one taken into the offside there for Trayvon Griffith. He's going to find another boundary. Boundary starting to flow for the Morrisville Raptors and company. First off the bat. And welcoming David Shri Patel is Trayvon Griffith. This time over the offside, bigger and better. That's 6 runs for Trayvon Griffith. Fuller edged, taken, Hardik Desai. He's got his man. The big celebration as well for the Orlando Galaxy. Good take. Met on the full, hit straight back down the ground, cannot be there. It's going to be 6 runs no matter who you're bowling to, especially when you're bowling to Sanjay Stanley. Short pulled into the leg side, and another boundary, another big one for Sanjay Stanley and the Morrisville Raptors. Fuller in length, edged, beats Vardarajan behind the stumps. Will pick up 4 runs nonetheless. Nearly the 2nd wicket for Hardik Desai. Goes down the ground. Adams is quick, but I'm not sure he's that quick. He won't be. It'll be 4 runs as there's a collision between Adams and Comrie. But it's with again. This time it's in the air. Fielder's in place and taken. Kishan Balagobin, he's got his man, and that's a big moment in the match. Down the leg side, far too easy for Sanjay Stanley. Is going to pick up 4 runs there, missing the length that time. Down the ground, down the track, is going to pick up some more runs. Yeah, it'll be 6 of them. Sanjay Stanley's in some kind of a mood today. Picks up 6 runs to close the over. Down the leg side, it's up in the air. Vardarajan was underneath it, but I don't know if anyone's going to be there. What an effort that was. He's run all the way from mid-wicket. How has he gotten there? What a catch that is for the Orlando Galaxy. 3 of the over. Runs it down. Quick chance of a run out here. And got him. Sanjay Stanley's got to go. How big? Down the ground. Has he picked the fielder? No, he's picked the gap. Then he's going to find himself with 6 runs there. Mohammad Abdullah Shah takes some pressure out. That length back. Outer edge, taken a backward point. Manav Patel, he's putting himself in this game here. This time with the wicket of Mohammad Abdullah Shah. Slower ball, sliced into the air. Fielders converging. Takes the catch, and Dane Pete's got to go. Sumit Sarawat, he's done the job. And the Morrisville Raptors now without their captain.
Who's going to give in?
Looks for the big shot, unable to get it, but they'll find runs through 3rd man, make it 4 of them. An edgy boundary for Adi Gupta, but a boundary nonetheless. Down the track, in the air, should be taken, covers underneath it, and gone. Adi Gupta this time can't escape. And another twist in the tail. Sumit Sarawat, he's done the job. Look for the big one, edged, gone. Rohan Phadke goes. And Sumit Sarawat got the extra delivery, took advantage, and this is why he's the premier bowler. Behera in the air. We'll find 4. How about this bounce off the surface? Some luck coming in the favor of the Morrisville Raptors, and a great way to start the over. Round. In the air. Who wants it? Will anyone find it? It'll fall safely, and they'll come back for 2. They're attempting the 2. And I think Behera's gone. Yes, he is. Behera goes. To add insult to injury, he's cut up the arm, but there you go. And it's gone! 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 Untry goes! Manu Patel's off to the races because he's done it. He's played hero for the Orlando Galaxy and has delivered the first win for them in 2023.
Untry.
You're watching the Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship, brought to you by our 2023 partners.